560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and CJ.
What is up, all of you people?
I like that one. Keep that one.
Okay.
Keep that one. Add that to the repertoire.
Really, mindful. I was like, all right, let me make sure I don't even come close today. We don't need any bit of that at all. Welcome, everybody, to the show that is really the most ordinary of shows for the most extraordinary of times. That is what we try to give you, a little piece of normality in a world gone completely haywire. Let's do it. What do you say? Here in the Family Leisure Studios, my name is Peter Edmiston. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ Hurt.
Hey, everybody. Got the Korean Baseball League on right now. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. That one got right through there. He's going to get to third. Is he going to get home? Oh, he's going to stop at third. Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome in. That's your Korean baseball update brought to you by CJ. He'll be giving you that throughout the show. I watched Korean baseball for the first 2 times they showed it, and then I'm like, I'm good.
Are you still watching the marbles? The wife really likes the marble wrestling.
Yes, I watched the marbles. They got they got a event, kind of a decathlon thing going right now, where the marbles. I watched marble long jump yesterday.
Oh, wait, what?
Yep. They got this big ramp, and the marbles drop and just go whoop, and then they land in the sand, and they have the whole thing. I watched Last Man Standing, where they send 4 marbles. These are 4 marbles on a team. There's 6 teams of 4 marbles each.
Okay.
It's all sponsored by some milk company in Britain, so they all have milk names. So this is like the Freshers and the Dairy Boys or whatever.
Okay.
I wish they had a Dairy Boys. That'd be great. Sadly, they don't. But anyway, so in this one, they take them down this little ramp, and then there's a little thin kind of like a little thin bit of surface area, and they try to go as far as they can on that surface area before falling off. And they got these little things on the side that catch them as soon as they fall off, and that's how far they went. And so they can mark each one, and they add up all 4, and it's quite elaborate. If you make it all the way to the end, then you're considered a finisher, and that's good. That gives you extra, little points. Whatever.
Okay.
Again, just rolling marbles down the hill. You wouldn't think it'd be that exciting, but the way they present it and all that, it's like, oh, yeah, this is great. So anyway, that's yes. So to answer your question, yes, we're watching. We're still watching those marbles. We're still laser focused on those marbles. Those of you that are waking up this morning, getting ready to go to work, you may notice it is terrible outside.
No.
So sorry about that. Not my fault. I would say.
Blame Cristobal.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'm not. Again, I don't think we should really blame anyone for this.
No, it's definitely Cristobal's fault.
Okay. Mario Cristobal it is. All right.
No, I didn't say Mario Cristobal. I didn't say
I
that.
think he's done a pretty good coach, pretty good job, honestly. But if you don't think so, and you want to blame him for this, I guess that's all right.
Not that Cristobal.
That's your business. That's your business right there. So, in any event, we are obviously going to have to deal with this. I hate to tell you, just have to deal with it throughout the whole day. I think it's just going to be kind of one of those days like yesterday, pretty nasty, humid. When the rain isn't here, the humidity is going to be here. So basically, you're just dealing with a lot of stuff here, which is why today. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I got something special planned. But before we do that, we have to welcome into the program our good friend, the one who runs this thing. Laser focused is this man on doing everything exactly right, never making a mistake, never once deviating from the plan, always.
Why are you setting your boy up like this?
No, what do you mean setting him up? He is
okay.
Always. This is him to a T. I mean, just right on it. Great storyteller, great liver of life, experiencer of all things. He is, of course, the Deacon of the Dollar, the Prince of Whitehaven, the Baron of Not Sharon. He's Scrooge McDuck, and he don't give a bit of luck about you if you ain't gonna take care of him.
Now I'm stuck because that's Scrooge McDuck. I want to play on that. I guess I am. He is Scrooge McDuck, always counting his bucks.
Give him all that green, but he'll make that plate of veggies clean.
Okay. Get rid of all of your meats, and please don't show him your feets. That works.
Okay.
That works.
Okay.
That works. I'm pretty sure that rhymes.
I thought there might have been something.
No.
I didn't know we were.
No.
Ladies
Unless
and
he
gentlemen,
wants to see feet. I don't think he does.
Well, we can ask him in just a second. But I think the answer is no. Ladies and gentlemen, he is none other than Similac Zach himself, breast milk extraordinaire, Zachary Boyd. How are you, Zach?
What's going on, everybody?
Zach,
happening?
you are like really close to my phrase here, man.
Yo, what's happening? You know,
There we go. What's going on, everybody? That is basically the same as hey,
happening?
everybody.
That's more. You're getting close to Kari's phrase there with the. Kari's big on yo and that kind of thing, so you got to watch out for that. There's a lot of gimmick infringement that's happening over here.
Yeah,
very difficult.
You know, I don't know.
So are you don't want any part of the feats, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't do feet.
Are you anti-feet or just non-foot fan?
I'm just a non-foot guy. I'm not anti-feet. I don't want to do foot rubs.
Some people are just
like
sick
I don't
of
want to
that.
get my foot rubbed. Like you don't have to worry about that. I take care of myself. Like it, you know. No.
Zach over here rubbing his own feet. I like that.
Is that true? Are you rubbing your own feet?
Yeah. Yeah, when I get it out of the shower and I head back upstairs to my room, I kind of just sit down and kind of just press on the soles of my feet a little bit, you know, just to see if where am I, like which part of my foot I'm tense in, just to see where it is, and you know, just kind of rub it out.
I like to rub it out after a shower too.
You like to rub it out sometimes. You got to do that in the shower. You never know.
Right.
Depends on how much stress you're under and how you want to.
Hit those pressure points.
Very relaxing.
Yes, very much so.
Just ease that pressure a little bit, you know? Absolutely. Got to get the poison out.
Yes.
The system's full of poisons. Got to get that out.
Very much.
So today, I was talking to Zach, and I just sort of felt, especially because of the weather, really. But I felt I wanted to make an executive decision on this. I don't know why. Well, you and I each are free to make executive decisions on the show sometimes.
Okay.
You just got to make a decision.
Okay.
I'm rolling with it.
All right. Now I'm nervous. What is going on here?
Don't be nervous.
Okay, you say that.
Don't be nervous. This is a good one. This is good.
Okay.
But I was inspired like late last night into this morning, and I woke up with, I was like, let's do this. So here's the inspiration. Today, of course, is Soft Rock Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, today, I'm making a slight shift here. We're just going to go, because of the weather, and just because I felt like it. Soft Rock Tuesday today is going to become Quiet Storm Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Yes. I love me some Quiet Storm. Let's welcome into your Quiet Storm station.
That's right.
DJ CJ right here on the ones and twos.
That's right.
Making sure to keep everything real smooth and mellow.
Because there's a crossover between soft rock and Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm is a genre.
Yes.
Quiet Storm is a feeling. If Michael McDonald and others are sort of if Soft Rock Tuesday is white, let's just stereotype it. Quiet Storm is the black version of the stereotypical white Soft Rock Tuesday. But there's a crossover between both. Both can play in each other's yards. You know what I mean? So But because of the weather, just because and also because we somehow or another I started thinking about that. Do you remember the sketch that they don't Saturday Night Live where Tim Meadows was the Quiet Storm DJ?
No.
Oh, it's fantastic. You cannot find it anywhere. It is not. I'm telling you. I'm putting a call out to all the listeners. If you have it on VHS or something, please. He did it 2 or 3 times, and it's insanely funny. You cannot. I'm telling you, you could find anything on the internet. You could find that weird hippo picture I sent you.
Oh my gosh!
An untold amount of all sorts of terrible pornography. You can find people obsessing about every TV show known to mankind, fan fiction about every theoretical character. You cannot find a copy, any video of this. Nothing. Not like even on the you can't find the episode that it was any of these episodes. You can't find you can't find anything, but it was great. So anyway, we're gonna roll with that.
You brought up SNL. What's going on with the SNL tournament? You guys got set up.
We are through, almost through the first round.
Okay.
We got just a few left. We've had some stunning upsets.
Oh.
We had some surprises.
Okay.
Great. It's great. It's great. It's great when we watch them all. For those that don't know, me and my friends put together we had a nominating situation. We had seeding. We had the whole thing where you put together what ended up being 64 of the best sketches. We missed a few. We had a few snubs in the selection process, but that's how it goes. And we seeded them, and then they're going at each other. And it's interesting when you watch them back to back and compare them. It creates a different kind of vibe. So it's and then we have 5 guys. We all vote on a scale of 1 to 5. You assign your 5 points to the matchup. So you could be 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, all that stuff. All 5 of us do that. The collective score is then put into my handy-dandy matchup generator, where we use that to determine the odds. But then we only do it once because it's March Madness, so you never know what the upset could be. And we had a sketch that was only had a 12% chance of winning, beat one that had 88%. It was 22-3 on the scoring, but the 3 won.
Oh wow!
Because it's March Madness. So
March Madness in June.
It was a 16-1, I believe.
Oh.
So yes, it happens. It happens, but it's going splendidly.
Okay. I look forward to seeing those updates.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. I gotta. We one of us has half of it, and the other somebody else has the other half of the bracket. So I don't know. Okay. I don't have a full bracket yet, and we had to stop we were like two matchups away from finishing the first round, but we ran out of time. Curfew and all. We were trying to we had a small little get together Friday night, but curfew was obviously in effect. So didn't want to run afoul of the authorities.
Got you.
And we're all keeping somewhat of we're doing all the social distance thing as well, so everyone's kind of it was good, but it was a weird vibe to kind of still be
away.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've seen it or not, the numbers are not necessarily the greatest in Shelby County, in Memphis of late. I don't know that we really ever seem to really listen to the numbers. Are we even really paying attention? I don't know. We didn't really pay attention to the numbers, right out of the gate, and we didn't really pay attention to them when we ramped it up to phase 2, and the numbers have been going up, but we've had more positivity rate as high as it's been since beginning of April, I think. Case rates up, all the stuff's up. I don't think it seems to matter as to what we're actually going to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical here, but it doesn't seem as though that's made a whole lot of difference. So we'll see. But the trends have not been great.
Yeah, I have seen that, and looking across the nation, it's been, you can find a couple of those spots. We talked about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago about California schools versus schools in Arizona. Arizona's everything is open and going hard, and they are now in a situation out there where they're being told, get ready, because we're about to hit this emergency level that we've been trying to avoid. Hospitals are going to start getting too full, and we're going to have to go to our emergency plan. So that's going on out in Arizona. You brought up the fact that here in Memphis, ICU bids are being filled at a pretty steady, consistent pace, and it is the risk that people thought was necessary to get the economy back up and going, and to get back to some sort of normal or the new normal, whatever that may be. So this is where we are now. I don't know what happens next, though. I don't know if we can go back. I felt like and I still feel this way, the whole point of the self quarantining was to, try and give medical staff and the people on the front line enough time to find proper treatments and to stall until we get that vaccine. On top of that, we were trying not to get to this point where hospitals are too full and people have no place to go. But we were, I'm using we as like the collective, really wanted, because of a pretty vocal group, really wanted to get back out there and get these haircuts and get these nails done. And so now you've opened up. I don't know if you can go back to getting everybody to self-quarantine in a matter of, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Well, that's the question I always had was can you go back? Could you? I mean, if the numbers didn't support it, would you be able to back down again? Would you be able to, if you had to close things back up, go back to 25% capacity as opposed to 50% capacity, to go back to 0%? If need be, would that be possible, or is it just once you open up, like there's no going back? Once you get to phase 2, you're in phase 2 forever
until you go to phase 3.
Until you go to phase 3, like I don't know. I'm not sure. How that's going to work. It doesn't seem, the evidence doesn't indicate that they're even thinking about going, can possibly going back or anything like that. So, we wait and see. And the thing is, it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, news. There was a story yesterday about the World Health Organization saying through one of their through one of their studies that it seems as though transferring the disease via asymptomatic people who are positive but aren't showing any symptoms is very rare, which would be a huge development if true. However, two things here. One, the WHO. It's fun. The politics of all this stuff's crazy. There's some certain groups who absolutely hate the WHO and do not want anything to do with the WHO until some study like this comes out. Then they are, hey, the WHO says it. So this was the same WHO that was saying like you shouldn't wear masks for. Well, they still kind of are. They don't. They've been seemingly behind the curve on this. There are other credible sources who are indicating this is probably not a particularly well done study. So, and the third thing would be, if that is the case, if asymptomatic transmission is rare, then how are we, how are we here? I mean, like how are these cases still? Yeah. That would be, I guess, pre-symptomatic transmission, where you the 2 or 3 days before you start showing symptoms, you are apparently at your most potent when it comes to transmitting the disease. Maybe that's part of it. But if that were the case, then that to me would be somewhat complex in terms of identifying people, because if asymptomatic people are involved, then you could just test whoever and find them and they're positive, and there wouldn't really be that intense of a timetable. But if you're dealing with pre-symptomatic people that seem healthy but in fact are just about to get some form of symptoms, then you have only a certain window to find them. You only have 2 or 3 days to find them via testing before they start to be symptomatic. So I don't know. It's this is a confounding condition.
Yeah, it's like it's super weird. It's super new, and that's why it's weird, because we don't have a whole lot of information or enough information, anywhere close to enough information about it. You brought it up, and I've been reading a couple of articles about the theory of like super spreaders, where there's for some reason, some people are just more likely to spread it, more potent, more contagious when it comes to COVID-19, whereas others are fine. They're not going to spread it to a whole bunch of people, and that is really weird. And we've got to try and figure out the whole, how is this thing spread? when is it spread in the cycle? Is it the first 2 or 3 days you come in contact with it? Is that when you spread it? Is it when you're contagious? Is that when you spread it? That is why the self-quarantining. This is why the self-quarantining is so important. It's such a big deal because it allows us to get more information on the coronavirus, on COVID-19, and get a better understanding for how it works. And with that knowledge, we can then find better ways to treat it so that it doesn't have the same negative adverse effects, or not as strong adverse effects when we look at it later on down the line.
So, it's frustrating, and everyone's frustrated. Everyone's sick of all this stuff. Everyone wants to get back to normal as fast as possible. It's tough. It's tough, and you have what is normal? What is normal going to look like? What is normal in the wake of all these protests, and what are we reshaping normal in other aspects of our society? Maybe what are these protests? What are they going to do in terms of spread? I think you should harbor no illusions about the likelihood that these congregations of people are adding to the spread. You can make your value judgments as to what causes are worth it. Is ending the lockdown worth it to some? Perhaps. Is ending systemic racism to it? Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, sure. I think so. But you have to make that decision, and you have to. I do think that people shouldn't just completely ignore and wipe out the probability that any kind of a protest situation is going to add to spread, just as any other congregation of any kind. Going back to churches, anything where you congregate and you're yelling and you're loud and you are boisterous and you're with people. It's better to do it outside than inside. But any of that stuff, we know those are all spreading type activities.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. I mean, you have to just do, that's the way it goes. So you have to accept it and make that judgment on your own. I think some epidemiologists are kind of trying to massage that information a little bit, but you just have to that's just real. I mean, you just have to accept it. I think everyone wearing masks is good on those things, and protest. I think that's the right approach to take. Try to keep your distance as much as you can, but that's hard to do in the middle of a protest. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do when you're on the streets with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
that's kind of the point of it. So, I don't know, man. It's a really challenging situation.
It hasn't gone anywhere. So everything that you're doing, be mindful about that. Be mindful that the coronavirus is still a thing. Very much so. It's very real. It causes very real complications. Mm-hmm. It's still out there. So it's warmer out. We've seen a spike since Memorial Day. We're probably going to see a spike with all these protests going on. We'll see a spike whenever we'll see these spikes whenever we get large gatherings and there's no vaccine, no real treatment for it yet. Like, it's still going to be a thing. So weigh your risk-reward scenarios as best you can. That's all you can do.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do for sure. We'll talk about the fallout from the Iowa situation. There is more, including a really crazy story from a former player who has outlined a culture, just an absolutely disastrous and horrible, oppressive and bullying culture that cost him his career. Pretty explosive allegations. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Dalvin Cook's holdout as the Vikings running back wants more money, and he doesn't want to play until he gets it. Dabo Sweeney has spoken out. He had a 14-minute video in which he talked about his assistant coach who had used the N-word, among other things associated and other allegations that were out there. We'll talk about that. So much more as we get to a very busy show. Anthony Sain's going to join us. Our old pal Anthony Sain, who is covering the Grizzlies for Sports Illustrated. He'll join us at 8 o'clock. So much to discuss here. Sports 56 Mornings. Peter, CJ, Zach with you. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Hi, it's the Herd. Start your day with M-Drive Start. It's the world's best morning shake. New from the guys at M-Drive. Start is packed with elite-level nutrition and protein. Fires up your body, gives you the lean look we're looking for. Shirts coming off in the summer. M-Drive Start has an industry-best 7 clinically tested ingredients and 6 sources of protein to support energy, recovery, and lean muscle. It also includes digestive enzymes, collagen, vitamins. The list goes on. No other morning shake touches this formula. Get elite-level nutrition and protein so you feel great in the morning. Check it out at mdrivestart.com. You wake up looking for energy, you've got your product. And as part of the launch, the guys at M-Drive are offering 25% off if you sign up for their easy-to-manage subscribe and save. So go to mdrivestart.com, try it yourself. Elite-level nutrition. M-Drive Start.
Blood and plasma donations are more important than ever. People all around the world still depend on the medicine your plasma helps make. That's why Interstate Blood Bank and Plasma Biological Services are open and will remain open for our donors. The United States government has declared blood and plasma donation as a critical infrastructure industry. That means healthy donors are allowed to travel to and from donation centers regardless of any stay-at-home mandates in your area. We need you to keep donating so that we can continue to manufacture these life-saving medicines. We understand that you may be concerned about COVID-19. The health and safety of our donors and our employees remain a top priority. To limit the spread of the virus, we're taking additional measures to ensure our centers are safe and clean. Donating now is more important than ever, but please do not come to the center to donate if you are not feeling well or have a sore throat, fever, cough, or shortness of breath. We are doing our part so that you can do yours. Come donate today at one of our IBBI or PBS locations across the Memphis area.
We saved serious cash with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough for a new boat. They'll probably spend it on rent or gas money or maybe one of those little plastic wading pools for the yard.
Ahoy there!
Is what the captain might say. On the toy boat, in your wading pool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Until that first hello, until that first smile. But if I had to do it all again.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome,
I wouldn't change a thing.
Quiet Storm
Cause
Tuesday.
this love is everlasting. Suddenly,
From the Family Leisure Studios. If you're looking to start a family, this is some good
If you're not looking and you just want to practice, it's a work also.
If you want to have a little leisure time, starting a family, may I suggest you listening to Quiet Storm Tuesday. Quiet Storm! So you're okay with my executive decision?
I am very much okay with Quiet. I love me some Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm, when I was in Clarksville, Tennessee, I couldn't sleep with the TV on. My parents made me turn the TV out at a certain time. But I could have the radio on all night, and I would stay up till 10 to get the Quiet Storm mix.
That's it.
Clarksville, got to get that Quiet Storm, man.
You got to. Everybody, it's a thing. It's a
Yes.
it's a feel. It's a vibe.
Yes.
It's a real vibe. Just FYI, there is some flash flooding going on in our friends in North Mississippi, DeSoto County. Several roadways have standing water. It is quite rainy out there. So if you are in areas that are low-lying or that typically are prone to flash flooding, be careful. There's a real chance that you're going to have some of that this morning. Also, just be safe. I saw some terrible accident that happened this morning right there, 240 in Poplar, but like up in the parking lot of that, that's like an Olive Garden or something up there.
Yeah.
But like the car was just like it looked like somebody just, I don't know how did it end up there in that condition. I would like to, I'm curious, I have questions. The car looked like one of those cars that had been crushed by a monster truck, and it was in the parking lot of this like Olive Garden, way off the road. It's got to be some video there that I need to know. I got questions, CJ. I got questions. Lots of questions. That's the whole situation. Now, we mentioned the whole thing is the COVID mixed with the protests that have swept the world, not just the nation, have created unique environments. And as you have pointed out many times, you think the two are related, that the time that you have now to really focus on other things because you're not in the typical mode, you're not distracted by as many outdoor events, as many sports, as many other things. You think that's spent some time. Maybe that's true. And maybe other guys have spent time reflecting on what's gone on and reflecting on issues that have happened, and maybe that's why we're seeing so many people start to reevaluate things in the wake of what's happened. But I thought a fascinating story about Darrell Johnson Koulianos. Did you see the story here? He was formerly a player at Iowa about a decade ago. He's now a receivers coach at a D2 school, D3, Bloomsburg University. But he tells the story in the wake of all the stuff that's happened at Iowa, the discussion about the culture that is not friendly to black players, the culture of bullying, and so many more. He released a statement to Hawkeye Nation explaining the situation and explaining the way that he felt. Did you get a chance? Did you read this statement?
No, I have not seen this.
It's quite amazing. This is a guy that was a sort of a cult figure in many respects to the fans of Iowa at the time that he was there.
He was pretty good, if I remember correctly, when he was there. I had to have gotten an All Big Ten.
Oh yeah, twice. Two-time All Big Ten.
Okay.
First team as a senior, all-time leader in Iowa in receiving yards and career receptions.
Let me just say that because I was one of the most boring football programs in major college football. Mm-hmm. They don't throw the ball a lot now.
No.
So if you've got a receiver who's getting all Big Ten nod, that receiver's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And, to the extent that receiving records at Iowa mean anything, he's got the Iowa receiving records.
Right.
Which is it's not like 500 yards, okay? It's a little more than that.
Like 550.
He caught five passes in a game once. That's incredible.
I mean, that's Iowa football, man.
I can't believe it. So he's the all-time leader in receiving yards and career receptions. So this is a guy, two-time All Big Ten. This is not some random scrub. It's a guy that's would know the program, would be experienced enough. And he talks about the story. You should read it in full, CJ. I cannot. It's a very lengthy story because he ended up being kicked off the team at the end of his career based on he had drug charges in early December of 2010. That's what we knew publicly. He was arrested on drug charges. Most of those charges were later dropped, although in the story he admits that he was doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing, mostly living with a person who was doing this and not stopping them. But he, like any college kids, you get into some shenanigans and do a few things you shouldn't do. There's plenty of folks who've done that historically. The piece though is pretty eye-opening. He talks about how Chris Doyle, the strength coach who is now embattled by many charges from many players of racial stereotyping and bullying behavior, and he says that he definitely was one of those guys. He got that. He called him a P. He labeled him an entitled brat because his adoptive father was a hardworking physician and his adoptive mother was an attentive stay-at-home mom. And he feels like Doyle was mad that he wasn't the typical what Doyle thinks of as the black athlete. And so he relentlessly called him a brat and this and that, made him run with a trash can on his head, made him run, do all sorts of things. Log rolls. He said you had to do log rolls until you choked on your own vomit. Then he commanded that you do that no more. He reminded folks that this was the guy that got the program and got a bunch of people rhabdomyosis, and several players nearly died as a result of the intensity of the workouts, which is true. Then he calls out Kirk Ferentz and says that Kirk Ferentz regulated what clothes I could wear. He pulled me into his office on many occasions to discuss my attire and mannerisms. While these suggestions were not official rules, he said Ferentz made it clear that this would be a situation where he'd be benched or worse if he didn't comply. He said he said that he had to be inconspicuous. Ferentz said that there would be no compromise. He said, don't be colorful in interviews. Be more blue collar. The less you say, the less you have to take back. He didn't want him to share anything publicly with anything. He wanted to keep it low key. So he goes through the whole thing, just says it was a rough time, but he was there. He liked his teammates and all that, so he tried to make it work. At the end of it, he says, interestingly enough, Ferentz's hate for me was so deep, and in retrospect, there were so many red flags. On senior day against Ohio State, during the pregame ceremony, when the seniors and parents walked into the field to shake hands with Kirk Ferentz conveniently avoided contact with my parents while shaking all the other parents' hands. Feel free to check the footage. Then, after losing to Ohio State in Kinnick Stadium, at the senior dinner postgame, my father, being the better man, approached Kirk Ferentz to thank him for the opportunities that Iowa football had provided for his son. The response he gave to my parents was, "Do me a favor. Tell Darryl I have one more thing in my pocket for him. I want him to worry." He wanted me to worry and be afraid and that it was coming soon, but would not elaborate further. My parents and my brothers, who were 11 and 7 at the time, recall this haunting exchange vividly to this day. On December 7th, a couple weeks later, the authorities raided my home, and I have no doubts based on that conversation that it was orchestrated by Kirk Ferentz. I was immediately kicked off the team and expelled from the university. No due process, no counseling, no treatment program, no second chances. He then goes on to say that Kirk Ferentz, even though this guy had all the records and all this stuff and had a lot of draft possibilities, he had his own pro day because he couldn't do it at Iowa. Only 3 scouts showed up, and they all said that Kirk Ferentz had not talked to them about and said nothing but bad things about him, so he didn't get drafted. 10 years later, 2019, said that somebody from the university contacted him to try to go back and celebrate the 2009 Orange Bowl championship game reunion. And one day before his flight was scheduled, the same staff member called to inform him that Kirk Ferentz had canceled and said that he was not welcome at the event. This makes Kirk Ferentz sound like a mob boss who is like, just out of control and insane. And maybe he is.
Makes Kirk Ferentz sound like a college football coach to me. This is what they do. This is very much a college football style story where this coach has all of this influence, all of this power, and wields it however he sees fit for whatever he sees as the vision for his football program. There's a lot in this story. I don't know how I missed it. I can't wait to go and find it and read it. But there's a lot from just the few snippets you've pointed out to unpack and digest here. We're talking about a strength and conditioning coach that is using verbal abuse to try and motivate players, and it does not make a player soft. It does not make a player weak-minded to not want to deal with verbal abuse. It doesn't make any person weak-minded or soft to not want to deal with verbal abuse. Kind of wish that that Jordan documentary touched on that a little bit more, because that is what it feels like. I've got to make sure you're ready to go into the big house in Ann Arbor in November to go out there and compete. And I got to make sure you're going to be at a high level. So let me say all of these mean things, all of these hurtful, abusive things to you in the hopes that come November, you'll be ready to play against Michigan. Like, no, that's not how this works. And it doesn't make me bad. It doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me lesser than to not want to be talked to that way. And we've seen strength and conditioning coaches push too far. people have died. You brought up all of the injuries from the workout. I do believe that was the year when Iowa was having their issue. I think Oregon was having a similar issue where players were just being pushed entirely too hard and dealing with very real, very serious complications from that. It does not make me weak to say, you know what, this ain't for me. I need to leave. I'm out. That we view that as kids not wanting to be coached up. We view that as kids not liking that, quote, old school way of coaching, when really, like, kids just don't want to be abused. And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Who wants to? I mean, who wants?
I don't
to
understand that.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean,
no.
Who would want that? Who would want? And what did Kirk Ferentz tell his parents when he was being recruited? I'm sure it wasn't, well, you know, we're going to verbally abuse your son, and we're gonna treat your son differently, and we're gonna, you know, now, we treat black players a little bit differently around here, and we don't, I'm sure none of that was brought up. I'm sure it was, this is my son. It's gonna be like my son. I'm gonna look after him. I'm gonna take care of him. We're gonna guide him through these delicate years of his life.
We're gonna coach him up. We're gonna coach him hard. Now we're gonna coach him hard.
But we're gonna love him.
We're gonna love him.
We're gonna coach him up. We're gonna love him up.
We're gonna love him up.
A lot of coaches forget that love him up business. They coach him up part, no problem. Love him up. Not so much.
No, and so, you know, when I hope that the more these types of stories come out, more people will begin to take a step back and say, hey, what is going on at this university when insert player's name here decides he's transferring just out of the blue or decides he no longer wants to be a part of that university. I hope that people begin to think, hey, what is really going on? Was it he didn't want to compete for a job, or was it somebody was saying things and speaking to him and making him feel unwanted and undeserving of whatever it is he's worked so hard to achieve and accomplish?
Do you believe every word of the story?
Yeah, because I think college football coaches do this. This is what they do. If you've got not just college football coaches, if you're the big program on a college campus, yeah, you can get away with this. We've seen time and time again stories come out from various outlets and various parts of the country about college coach knew about player X's issues and talked to police to make sure that it didn't come out because there was a big game and they needed player X on the field. Like, we know this thing, that this is how college coaches operate. And when you are our football and you bring in millions upon millions of dollars to the university, you as Kirk Ferentz get, unfortunately, a way too much power, way too much pull, way too much influence, not only in the athletic department, but in the city of Kinnick as well. That's just the way it works. We saw Joe Pa go through this at Penn State.
Absolutely. And I don't understand why anyone would even consider, I mean, head coaches, as Dabo, is dealing with the fallout of all the stuff that happened in his tenure at Clemson, coaches know all this stuff. Of course they do. As Johnson Koulianos points out in his he says that you can rest assured, if you believe for one instance that Kirk Ferentz does not have his finger on the pulse of his program as he throws Chris Doyle under the Hawkeye bus, then you are blind. In fact, you can rest assured there's not a thing that goes on in Iowa City that Kirk Ferentz does not know about. And I definitely think that's true.
Is that one in Iowa City?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I said Kinnick. It's Kinnick Stadium. That's why.
There's no question. Kinnick Stadium, but yes, it's in Iowa City. But anyway, there's coaches they are micromanagers by trade. That is what they do. They are into it. They every little detail, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. So if you think they're not doing that with this, you're crazy. If you think you don't know what's going on, you're crazy. And I think Kirk Ferentz has got a lot more explaining to do and a lot more discussing to do, and I don't know whether folks have the stomach to really get down to the bottom of these sorts of problems, because that's going to require a lot of soul searching and a lot of people admitting they were wrong for a long time about the things that they let go. That's hard to do. That's hard for any of us to do. So we'll see if they have the stomach to do it. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Dabo situation over at Clemson. We're also going to get into Dalvin Cook's holdout. We're going to get into the rest of a very busy Quiet Storm Tuesday here. Anthony Sain's going to join us at 8 o'clock as well. Real Sports Talk Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
folks. Bob Burke coming for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Lots of vehicles to choose from at Sunrise. Trucks, SUVs, late model used cars, and cars under $10,000. Rebates up to $6,500. Interest rates low as 0% and immediate financing available. Come on in, call, or go online to sunrisememphis.com. You can schedule an appointment, select your vehicle, appraise your trade-in, arrange financing, and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep. All cars disinfected and ready to go. Need service or body work? Bring it to Sunrise or go online to schedule an appointment. Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
And in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes see you pass outside my door.
This Lionel?
Of course. Zach, you feeling the Quiet Storm?
Yeah, I recognize some of the songs, like especially one that stands out to me.
It's not this? Is it not Tuskegee's own Lionel Richie?
No, I recognize this song, but there's another one that stands out to me.
Yes, the Commodores got their start in Tuskegee. Lionel, born and raised in Tuskegee, if I'm not mistaken, still has a house in Tuskegee.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm not up on my Lionel history.
No. Tuskegee is a very, very wonderful place.
I've heard tell. I've heard tell.
History, tradition, and legacy. Greats like Lionel Richie, the Tuskegee Airmen, Tom Joyner, C.J. Hurt, all have come from Tuskegee.
And that's how they introduce to all of the prospective students.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly right.
Go to the place George Washington Carver taught and Conrad Hurt Jr. graduated.
That's the sign where people drive into the city, where it's just like home of Lionel Richie, Tom Joyner, C.J. Hurt.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tuskegee.
Yeah. The T, the U, the S-K-E, the G, double E.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For that. for having Lionel Richie as a grad. Lionel and others, I'm sure, go back and hopefully this year we can all get back.
I really want to get back to homecoming. Homecoming was great.
Does Lionel go back to homecoming?
I didn't see him this year. I know he's been to some. I've just never laid eyes upon Lionel Richie.
Okay,
but it shuts down the whole city.
When
homecoming pops off.
Oh.
So ain't no telling.
Just when Lionel's walking around.
No, when Lionel, obviously when Lionel Richie walks around,
Tuskegee
he just walks into the grocery store, just hello, is it me you're looking for? And then everybody's like, hey, Lionel's back, shut it down, shut it down.
Come on in, buddy, all right.
No, but the whole city shuts down. It's RVs and everything all in the stadium, so he's probably there. I just don't know which RV he's in.
It's probably the nicest one.
They're all pretty nice.
It's whichever one's
the nicest.
They're all nice, but Lionel's is nicer.
I see what you're saying.
I don't care which one. There's one that's nicer. That's Lionel. However nice they all are, because they are. I love those RVs that are totally like got all the gear and all. Those are fantastic. I want one of those someday. When I grow up, I want to have one of those someday. But I want Lionel's more likely. Than not. You can text in 67129 on the First Bank text line. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can. 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines as well. As we're talking about the
got a text here real quick. Interstate 55 southbound closed at the Coldwater, Mississippi exit.
Coldwater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We mentioned earlier in North Mississippi. There's flash flooding that is happening. In a lot of spots. Be careful for those of you. And if you're making your way to work just in general, it's pretty nasty out there. It's not a quiet storm. We got a quiet storm here on the show. It's a loud storm that's happening out there. And so you need to be careful about all of that. Did you watch Dabo Sweeney's 14-minute statement?
I did not watch Dabo's.
Dabo on Dabo?
No, I did not watch
Dabo
the 14-minute statement. No, I missed it.
I cannot get a consistent. I can't get a Dabo or Dabo. I do both. I can't stick with one. I'm just floating all over the place. I don't know what's going on. He said that he would fire a coach immediately if he called a player an N-word. Did not say he would fire him and did not fire him if he used it inappropriately, but just that if he called a player, he draws a distinction between using it and calling a player. This, of course, was an incident that was discussed a week or so ago. One of the Clemson players, a former player who kind of has been the catalyst for a lot of this discussion from Clemson, said that DJ Greenlee, former tight end, were in a separate part of the practice field when an argument happened, and Greenlee said that me and the coach got into it, and I was speaking with one of my teammates. He heard me use the N-word basically and tried to correct me by saying the N-word back multiple times. Said, so Dabo said that he would never, if he had said, if he called him that name, then he would have been fired. But he said, you blocked the wrong N-word, and because that's the way he said it, and so that means that everything's cool. He said the incident that was discussed internally, but may not have been addressed properly with my teammates. He said there wasn't some dirty secret. We handled it head on. I remember them talking about this publicly. Forgiveness and grace is important, is what he said.
Oh.
As it always is. Oh. For certain folks, forgiveness and grace is very important. Others, less so. He also says that he had no issue with his players participating in the Sykes sit-in. That was a 2016 sit-in that addressed the issues that they had with diversity training in minority faculty and enrollment. Dabo says any insinuation. He was criticized on social media because he wore a shirt that said "Football Matters" on it. He said he got it from the National Football Foundation as part of an initiative. That foundation tweeted over the weekend that it's going to change the name of that campaign, Football Matters, in the wake of that being considered sort of an offhand shot at Black Lives Matter. And so Dabo said, I wholeheartedly support Black Lives Matter. I don't think that's quite adequate enough, says Dabo. I think black lives significantly and equally matter.
I think that's the whole point of Black Lives Matter. I think that is the message.
Done and done.
Yeah.
What do you think, CJ? We good? We knocked over. We got this thing taken care of.
Obviously, we're good. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, let's get back at it. As soon as we get to playing football, we'll be fine. Clemson, interestingly enough, I know we're right up against it. Going through a situation, they're trying to rename the Calhoun Honors College in the Calhoun building, and you got notable graduates like Deshaun Watson and receiver who got traded, Hopkins, who said that the reason he doesn't mention Clemson when he announces himself on Sunday Night Football is because of that building and what that man and that building represent. So let's see. Here we go, Dabo. Now let's step into this.
Let's get into it. John C. Calhoun, notable Civil War era figure, racist, slave owner. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If you're going to be about it, be about it. When we come back, we'll talk to our pal Anthony Sain about the NBA's return to action. He covers the Grizzlies for SI. We'll talk to Sain about that and a number of other topics. You always want to hear what he has to say. That's next on a Quiet Storm Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
At Victory Auto Sales, that's victoryauto.org. We always ask our customers what they want most in a used car.
I want a car that runs when I turn the key. Don't want my appointment over there just waiting on me. Buddy. Throw away the cable. You'll never be late with one of our cars because they are just darn great. I want a car that runs down the road, that doesn't leave me stranded while it's getting towed. I want brakes on my car so I can stop when I'm driving too fast and when I see a cop.
They want a car that starts. They want a car that runs. They want a car that stops. Victory Auto Sales, 901-380-5800. That's victoryauto.org. Check us out. We are at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike. In-house financing, of course. Generous credit approval. Of course. Don't forget to ask about our layaway. That's victoryauto.org, 901-380-5800. Fill out the credit app online or come by or give us a call, 901-380-5800.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't miss out on anything. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Sunshine that lights my heart within, and I'm sure that you're an angel in disguise. Come take my hand and together we will rise. Here it comes right now. On the wings of love, up and above the clouds, the only way to fly.
Quiet Storm. It's a Quiet Storm Tuesday. Sort of an offshoot of Soft Rock Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely related.
They are. They're cousins. But it's time to have a quiet storm because it's a little stormy out there. Flash flooding going on North Mississippi. Be careful as you make your way to work. It's hour number 2. Give yourself some extra time. There are going to be some accidents. It's going to be some stuff that you're going to get into. Like life in general, CJ, sometimes there's just some stuff that you got to deal with. That's what this morning is. That's life. You got to deal with it, man. But you can go through it. You can make it happen. You can do it. You can get your way to work. Come on. Believe in yourself.
All right,
anything
Coach
is possible.
Peter, going out there. I feel like getting after it.
I mean, I'm feeling so much like a college coach, I'm about to suspend somebody for no good reason. I mean, that's where it is.
You get a suspension. You get a suspension. Everybody's getting a suspension.
Cut that hair. Hey, where's that hoodie? Get that hoodie off. I don't know. We don't do that.
You're about to orchestrate a raid of your children's rooms.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's how we got to do this. That's how we got to do this. That's how college coaches operate. I'm Peter. He's CJ. Zach taking us through the quiet storm. And we got a lot to discuss. As we mentioned, it's been a very busy show already. We still got a lot more to get to, including the wheel, including the latest on MLB. Spoiler alert, not going great. Latest on the NFL, maybe a little better. We'll see. And also the NBA returning to action July 31st. Still a lot to be worked out. Still some issues going forward, but you know what? We got to talk to our guy, Anthony Sain. Our man, Anthony Sain, covers Grizzlies for SI. He is, I mean, like, you gotta listen to Sain because you're going to want to. I promise you that. He is at Sain Asylum on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, our buddy Anthony Sain. What's up, man? How are you?
Man, what's going on, bro? I appreciate y'all's choice of intro music today, being somebody to eat wings like 5 days out the week. It was perfect intro song.
You know what? I'm with you. I eat wings, I don't know, about 5 days a week, but like I'm at least 2 or 3 probably. I mean,
yeah, man, I put it in on some wings, but and I'm a wing guru guy. It's my number one pick, but like I eat wings from all over the place, bro.
You know, I'm Central Barbecue. That's my those smoked wings, man. Fantastic. That's where I go with right there. So big props to them because they're tremendous. How's it going, man? How are you? How you doing these days, man? There's about 5 million things going on.
Yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good. Trying to make it, bro. Trying to stay afloat.
So Anthony, with the NBA coming back, man, what are you looking forward to about the restart of the season?
Well, I put in an application to work at Disney World as a waiter, trying to get some access to the players, you know, trying to get it to the mix, man.
What would Gabe be doing, though? You know, come on.
Huh?
Is Gabe just going to go to Disney World while you're doing all this? Is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a mustache on him. We're going to sneak him in, too. We're going to have him in the mix,
some
too.
Stilts. You got to have some stilts.
We can stack them on top of somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we
Two-
might
two
do
kids.
it, but I might just put Gabe on my shoulders and have
There you go.
a little head human. You know, you see on the old TV shows.
That's right. That's right. Trench coat.
We'd be
and
like,
hat.
we'd be about 8 feet tall walking through there.
No, what do you think? What do you think about the format, the way that it's all shaken out? Grizzlies.
It had to grow on me, man. At first, it just looked like a grand setup to try to get Zion or Damian Lillard, whoever, involved on television to get them in the playoffs. I still think it's just a way to get more eyes on television, to get the way they have the format, getting some of the more key players in, even including guys like Devin Booker and getting the Spurs on TV for their final run in the playoffs, because they're definitely not going to make it now with all being out. But it's growing on me, though. I think the Grizzlies are still in the driver's seat. It'd be pretty hard for them not to at least make it to the play-in situation. And I also feel pretty good about them getting in just flat out without it being a play-in altogether. Being that they only have to gain one game up on all those teams. And all the teams everyone's been barking for to get in, I think people forget those teams are 8 and 9 games under 500. I think it's like they open up a door for teams who've been crap the whole season, and now they're expecting them to do something remarkable with 8 games left to play. But I expect the Grizzlies to go in the 8th seed. I'm not really messed up about the format. I think it kind of plays into their hands.
So it's been a long time since we last saw this team take the court, and they when last we saw them, they were without Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark and Justice Winslow. This temporary suspension of the season has allowed for everybody to get back healthy. What do you expect to see from this young Grizzlies team, particularly with trying to implement Justice Winslow into the mix?
That's another thing that I do like about the format. I think that it allows the Grizzlies to kind of get into shape. There was a report that they were even going to have a couple of preseason games, which I thought was kind of weird. I think that a lot of people are looking at this whole COVID-19 these games they're playing during COVID-19 is like some kind of experiment where you can just try all these new and different things. But I think they're kind of forgetting that they're in the middle of a pandemic. And I think they should be more efficient with just trying to get games over with. But playing preseason games, I don't really understand the point of that at all. But I think that having those games plus those 8 seeding games or whatever, I think that it gives them an opportunity to get their chemistry together. If you guys remember, this team was kind of struggling when the season ended. It was kind of wearing on them that they didn't have Jaren, they didn't have Brandon, and they hadn't had Justice. And Justice and Jaren were set to come back that weekend against Portland. And that's when both of those guys were supposed to be back. And I think getting those guys back, I've heard that Justice Winslow is looking good. He's in shape. Heard that Jaren, I hadn't only heard, but I saw on Instagram that Jaren looks like he's lost a lot of weight. Like he slimmed down a little. Jaren had a little baby fat on him throughout the season, and he's gotten rid of that. So I think the guys are going to be ready. I think the fact that they had this time off the hill and get themselves together and soak in all the criticisms and the people counting them out already, I think those type of things are going to lend toward them being successful.
Yeah, I think it could work out well for the Grizzlies because of that what you talk about with Justice Winslow in particular. Getting him back and actually getting a training camp to kind of work him back in is unique. You wouldn't have had that opportunity. The Grizzlies had just come off losing to Orlando at home before this whole thing happened. They weren't looking great. They were injured and all that stuff. But they were going to go play Portland, and then they had to fly back home after that. Portland's tricky because now you've got obviously Melo is kind of the wild card. Very opinions are divided about what Melo is going to be able to do for you right now. However, Yusuf Nurkic should be back, and that helps tremendously. They had dealt with his injury throughout the entire year. You have theoretically Damian Lillard, who should be motivated. He wasn't sure about playing if he didn't have a chance to get in the playoffs. He has a chance now to make it to the playoffs. This Blazers team, Anthony, seems they always seem to have bad things happen to them, and I get it. But they are the Western Conference finalists from last year, and they are a team that, like theoretically on paper at least, has got some significant talent. I think they could be underlooked here.
I think I'm not sold on Portland at all. Just being honest with you, I haven't been the whole season.
You're never sold on Portland, Sane. I know you. Sane was born into this earth hating Portland.
Yeah, no, seriously though, man. It's like you're a team who you had all these expectations. You went and added Carmelo Anthony. I mean, come on, Yusuf Nurkic, That's what they're blaming their season on. Like, have you seen how out of shape that guy was before he got hurt? And you expecting this guy to look like he's going to be able to do something once we hit Orlando? I mean, come on, man. But like, and they're just full of excuses, man. They cry and they whine about all this. They're like 9 games under 500. They've underachieved the whole season, and I'm not buying Portland, man. And I saw them when we played them up close. Team looks dysfunctional as hell. I saw Whiteside as a joke. Like, no, man. Like, I'm just not buying Portland. I'm just not. Like, a lot of people expect them to just turn it up like now. Like, nah. I'm not seeing it at all.
Is there anybody that you're buying to be a legitimate challenger to the Grizzlies for that 8th and final playoff spot in the West?
I've got them in this order. I had the Spurs pretty close to 3rd, but now that Aldridge is gone, they're done, in my opinion. To me, the top 3 the Grizzlies need to worry about are the Pelicans. I think they've underachieved all season, but I think they've actually got the talent to merit that they could possibly turn it on. Plus, they were playing pretty good ball before everything ended. I've got them number 1. I've got the Kings number 2. I think the Kings have a better chance of catching us than Portland does. I think Portland's going to drop a lot of games. I think that Kings team is really good. They cause a lot of matchup problems for us individually when we play them. We had some good games against them this season. I got the Kings number 2. Then I've got Portland number 3. But I think the Pelicans probably are our biggest challenge.
So Phoenix 4 then?
I don't know. Probably. Who did I say? Probably the Spurs after them and then Phoenix. I don't take Phoenix seriously.
Why is Phoenix even there? Like, Phoenix shouldn't even be there. Right? Phoenix and Washington should not be there.
Right.
Washington maybe has a chance, possibly because the East is so terrible. And theoretically, maybe Bradley Beal. I don't know, but like they really
East,
shouldn't. I mean,
but the bad teams in the East aren't there. It's all the playoff teams that are there.
Yeah, but the playoff teams are bad.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. The East is the bottom 2 in the East. I don't know if you noticed, Brooklyn, Orlando are garbage.
Hey, put respect on Karis LeVert's name. He had like 30 points in the fourth quarter, or 17 points in the fourth quarter.
No. Karis LeVert, he's fine. He's a fine player.
It's phenomenal.
He's fine. I mean, just like everybody, fine. Nikola Vucevic is fine. They're fine teams, whatever. Like, who wants to watch them play? It's ridiculous. Why when we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're bringing these teams that are worthless down there? There should be 20 teams. You should just lop Phoenix right off there. There's no Phoenix would have to go like 8-0, and everybody else would have to go like 2-6 for them to have a chance. No, it's not happening.
Yeah, it's pointless. That whole the roster spots you're using with Phoenix and Washington, that could be like Instagram models, but they could be like flew in or something. Like having
up
those,
the crowd a little bit. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
we don't want
30 players plus staff. That's like 60 people that could be there. Like somebody's wife, or girlfriend, IG model, or whatever could be there.
I don't know if Grizzlies fans want a whole lot of IG models in Orlando.
One Grizzly in particular might be.
One Grizzly would be fine. I'm not sure if the fans would want it, though.
Depending on which IG model showed up, might be trickier than others. Who knows? No, the other thing that's the Grizzlies when they come back, and I think watching this team play, like they as you mentioned, they have a really good chance. For everyone that just so people know what the deal is. Right now, the Grizzlies have a 3.5 game lead over Portland, New Orleans. In the standings. If the lead after these 8 games, which we don't know for sure even what the games are going to be. There's been some discussion about what the schedule is. People thought it's going to be, looks like it's going to be the 8 remaining games, but they're not 100% sure because they're going to have to be some changes. So anyway, Grizzlies, if they maintain a 4-game lead at the end of that stretch, they would just make the playoffs as the 8th seed without any play-in game. If they are still in the 8th seed, but they don't have a 4-game lead over the 9th seed, then they would have a play-in game in which the Grizzlies would only have to win once, but the team in 9th would have to win twice. And if the Grizzlies just go like 3-5, Anthony, they're pretty much guaranteed to stay in the 8th spot unless, somebody just goes absolutely crazy. So if the Grizzlies can just be decent, then they should at least get to that play-in game and have 2 chances to knock out the 9th seed and go ahead and make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. They would have to really kind of fall off pretty bad to not be in the play-in at all. But like I said, man, only team I'm really worried about is the Pelicans because they're a good team, they have a good roster, and there's this obvious push from the league to try to get Zion in. So you know how that goes as far as the whistles go or whatever. And just guys getting caught up in the madness of it all. But I think the Grizzlies are in good shape, man. And I think that the fact that the team would have to come out and beat them twice as opposed to the Grizzlies having only win once in a play-in situation, I think that lends towards them as well.
Could one of the unforeseen circumstances from the coronavirus pandemic be a budding rivalry between Memphis and Pelicans fans? Because I've been following along on Twitter. I see both fan bases kind of getting after one another a little bit.
Yeah, shout out to me for creating that rivalry.
Shout out to
getting the two fan bases stirred up. That's been a project of mine to make the Pelicans be a rivalry for the Grizzlies. But it just makes so much sense, man. I wrote a series about it, still kind of adding to it as things go on, and I think that what we're about to see now could be the final piece to make that thing a reality as far as the rivalry is concerned. I talked about how far they are from Memphis. They're right up the street. Everyone knows about the New Orleans train ride down to New Orleans. They both got young rosters with young players. They both have two guys that are in the middle of a Rookie of the Year race who also knew each other as kids in high school playing AAU, and John Morant and Zion Williamson. And now the final piece is possible playoff rivalry, where you could very well see yourself over the next few months of time playing the Pelicans 4 times in the next, maybe 10 to 11 games, where you could play them. You could play if they go by the schedule that's remaining, and especially if the NBA has any. If they're going to do anything to try to cook the books or whatever, you can see the Grizzlies playing the Pelicans twice and then playing them in a play-in situation twice as well.
In the whole Rookie of the Year situation just adds to it. With John Morant, really by any stretch at this point should be Rookie of the Year. There should not even be a question about it. Zion's played 19 games. I mean, it's just not. And John Morant is leading the Grizzlies 18.7 assists a game. Tim McMahon had a nice little nugget in his story where according to research by the Elias Sports Bureau, John Morant would be only the third rookie since 1947, other than Elgin Baylor and Michael Jordan, to lead a playoff team in points and assists per game. If you don't think this man deserves the Rookie of the Year, then you're crazy. But Zion putting up some weird, crazy run through this whole deal and then sneaking out with the Rookie of the Year, that would explode this rivalry to the next level.
It's not happening, but the guys at ESPN, Zion could, he could win for just, they count layup drills and 2K, what he does on 2K at home, they would want to count all those type of things.
Hey, the wing contest, Zion is going to beat Ja. I'm going to tell you now. Zion's got Ja completely destroyed in the wing contest.
And that's another thing, too, man. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but Zion posted a video from home. He's looking kind of fluffy, bro. And people acting like he's in shape. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I got to see Zion on the court.
He's got some Oliver Miller tendencies,
Yeah, man.
He kind of can get a little rotund. If
he was looking a little
Sean Kempish.
Yeah, just a little some of these guys. It's just your metabolism. You just got to constantly be working out and stuff, or else you're going to start putting it on. But he's still great. He's still going to put up numbers and all that stuff. But I agree with you. And John Morant, this shouldn't really affect things. So you look at the body of work and all that. That's the number one thing at this point.
Right.
We'll see how the whole thing kind of plays out. So I mean, Sane, are you just kind of on stuff happening locally and nationally and internationally? What is your thought on where we stand locally with all the protests, the fact that they've continued now for 2 weeks? Now, you've posted a lot about your son. You've posted a lot about your discussions that you've had with your son as a result of all of this and more. Where are you at personally on all this?
It's tough, man. Like you seen the tweets I put out, or stuff I said on Facebook or whatever. It's tough. It's hard to go through it. Having to, I've got 2 kids, man, and my daughter's 18. She's getting ready to go off to college, and she's going to Middle Tennessee State, and Middle Tennessee ain't Memphis, so she's gonna have her whole new experience when she gets out that way. When she's out there, and my son is 6, so I'm having to kind of back him up because he's went from loving police to kind of F the police, so I've had to kind of rein him back in. He's got so much of me in him. I've had to rein him back in because he's going to turn to a little militant out here. But it's tough, man. It's tough to watch it, and It's kind of exciting, though, because you're seeing people who are realizing the error of their ways. And I think the awareness and the generation we're in now is causing so much noise. And it's making it's making non-African Americans realize the error of their ways. And people are openly admitting, hey, I didn't realize the issues I had or things that I was saying or things I was doing, the ways that I was thinking. And I think it's really impacting change. And I'm proud of it, man. Like, just to be a little lighter about it. It's almost like watching like the Black People Olympics. It's like you got sites all over the country, and it's like you're watching the Avengers or the Olympics or something. It's like, oh man, I'm cheering, I'm cheering for Team Black people. You know what I mean? I'm down for it, man. Like I love seeing the protests. I love seeing the peaceful protests. The not peaceful protests is exciting to watch on television. And I think that we have to understand it right now. Like literally, we're in a war right now. We're in a war against racism, a war against ignorance, war against intolerance. And I'm just glad I'm on the right side of the war. And the people who are out protesting and doing what they're doing, I think that they should be treated like soldiers. Like they're fighting a good fight. And they're fighting a good fight for a good cause. And they're literally fighting a fight with people like me. I'm sitting in the bed, and they're fighting the cause for me, and it's exciting.
You want to be on the right side of history on this thing.
Yeah, man. You don't want to be the guy. You don't want to be that guy still waving a rubber flag in 2020. You don't want to be that.
No. There's plenty of those examples out there, folks. 50s, 60s, all that oof, those are not good. Sane, always good talking to you, man.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I'll see you down there in Orlando, probably.
Oh yeah, I'll be down there. Me and Gabe.
Appreciate it, Anthony, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man. He is at Sane Asylum on SAIN Asylum on Twitter. In case you're curious to follow Anthony in his work, check him out. Writing for SI, covering the Grizzlies. We're going to talk about that. Talk about the Drew Brees situation got a little more complicated. Malik Jackson, his response, perhaps not as conciliatory as some have been to Drew Brees. We'll discuss that. We'll also talk about the LaMarcus Aldridge injury situation and what it means. We're going to spin the wheel of conversation. We have so much to get to on a busy show. We're just halfway through on a Quiet Storm Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more. R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
Eat well and stay healthy with Sweetgrass Next Door's to-go and delivery service. From shrimp and grits to pork chops to chocolate chip cookies and more, feed your need. Located in the heart of Cooper Young Midtown, Sweetgrass Next Door makes for an easy to-go, pickup, and delivers to all of Midtown, most of downtown, and even East Memphis locations. For more information, visit online at sweetgrassmemphis.com or call 901-278-0278 to place your order today.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farm All, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farm All that's right for you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Love you, baby. Stay with me, and you will see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet
Anita.
Coming with it.
Anita Baker. That voice, man. She's got like a syrupy, sweet, like just a beautiful quality to it. I don't know. Some people have a richness, a character to their voice. Maybe she's got that very unique. You could just tell.
Just very.
She sings
full.
one note, and it's like, yep, that's
Anita
Anita Baker. Yep,
That's Anita.
you don't have to. Very distinctive. And I absolutely adore that song. Quiet Storm, man. You got a favorite Quiet Storm song, CJ?
I'd have to think about it. All my Quiet Storm songs are also Mr. Nasty Time songs.
There's definitely a crossover there as well.
Oh man, give me a moment to think about it. The ones that immediately come to mind, I can't rock with anymore because R. Kelly don't know how to act. But if I'm going to say a song, I can go So Anxious, Genuine. I think that is a good Quiet Storm song.
Now, this is an interesting kind of thing here. I think of Quiet Storm, and I stick it strictly in like maybe late 70s through about mid 90s. Like I think of Quiet Storm, I kind of just stop my Quiet Storm, but you continue the Quiet Storm.
Yeah, because it evolves. Yes.
That's
but if we want to go, some of those slower Isley Brothers songs, oh my gosh, Between the Sheets, I mean, it's like that. That's it. That's it. Between the Sheets,
there.
Right there is the perfect Quiet Storm song.
What about Close the Door, Teddy P?
Turn off the lights. Hey, yes, that's another good one.
Teddy Pendergrass has got a few.
Teddy Pendergrass does have.
Love TKO.
Luther's got some.
Luther's got
a lot of them. Put some of his on there, but I think Between the Sheets, Isley Brothers, for me, is great if you're talking about from that era.
Like an I'll Make Love to You.
That now you're coming over to my era, but
that's
yes,
what I'm saying.
Yes,
but
absolutely, that's a Quiet Storm song.
That's a Quiet Storm.
If I Ever Fall in Love Again, Shy, the acapella version. Last Night as yet another great Quiet Storm song. Pretty much any Keith Sweat song, you can throw in there as well. Like there are some dudes and dudettes who major in Quiet Storm singing.
No question.
And I'm here for it all.
There's no doubt about that. Most of the rain has gone through the area now, so should be a little bit better out there. Although those of you that are in Fayette County, be careful. There's still plenty of storms. Quiet and otherwise that are going through your neck of the woods. So be careful about that. It is a quiet storm, and you can always send in your requests. We always love it. I don't know.
Yes.
I've sent Zach an extensive playlist. I've sent Zach too many songs actually. He wouldn't be able to play all of them that I sent. But If you want to send requests in for all that, you always can at 67129 if you want to text in your favorite Quiet Storm songs. And I repeat myself, please, if you have any copies of the Quiet Storm SNL sketch, if you know where I can find one, please let me know. Text in, because I love that sketch, but I can't find it anywhere. It exists only in my memory.
You brought up the Boys to Men. I'll Make Love to You. Ooh, ah. That Boys to Men song. Yep, that one. And just, she moans Mike, and Mike gets it. Oh, one of the best moments of a talker on a song ever.
That's a talk, slow rap talk kind of.
Mike is just spitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that is another really good Quiet Storm song. Fire and Desire.
Yeah.
Tina Marie, Rick James.
Yeah.
Put that up there also.
Okay. You need to make yourself a playlist here.
I should make a really. So my Quiet Storm, like I said, always goes left at a certain point where it's like, okay, this is no longer Quiet Storm. This is nasty time type stuff. So I have to be careful. But I got a playlist. I do got a playlist with some strong Quiet Storm feel to it.
Okay. I think it's good.
I got 3 playlists with Quiet Storm songs on there, actually.
As you should. Did you see the comments from Malik Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Malik Jackson.
Those I did see.
Was talking to a reporter from ABC 6 in Philadelphia named Jeff Skversky. And Jeff Skversky's talking to him via the old classic Zoom chat that we all know and love. And Malik Jackson says, with regard to what Drew Brees said, he said, I lost a lot of respect for Drew Brees. A great player, but very insensitive about the times and where he stands. My great-granddaddy and dad fought in the war, too, and they were getting spit on at the same time. I understand where you're coming from, but I said, F you for your mindset. You're still not understanding where we're coming from after 3 years of trying to talk about this and get attention. You're still talking about kneeling for a flag that has oppressed people. He says, I don't accept his apology. I think he's only apologizing because of people coming for him. And people are disagreeing with him, and he understands at his base in Louisiana there's a lot of black people. Whatever happens, it must be nice to make $25 million a year and have that stance. Said, I'm definitely excited playing them in this year. I'm going to have a lot to say. Hopefully I don't get too wild with it.
Okay. Just, don't try and whop them with a helmet. That's not going to go well.
Let's not get that wild.
Hey, that's why I'm black people.
Wildness.
We not a monolith, man. Just because some are cool with you doesn't mean everybody's going to be cool with you. And you can't tell somebody after apologizing when they need to accept your apology. So, hey, if you want to hold Drew Brees accountable for the things that he said, and if you don't believe his apology is genuine or in earnest, that's your call, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, we talked about that yesterday. Like the thing about an apology is that if it is sincere, and it is reflective, and it is thoughtful, and if you're going to apologize, and then you're going to do the work to try to undo the wrong, the way that you've wronged someone or a group of people or whatever the wrong happens to be, that's all you can do. Mm-hmm. And then, but by the same token, it does not obligate somebody to accept that apology. It does not obligate them to just say, okay, we're all good now. And I think in a lot of these instances, like we talked about with the Mike Norvell thing, I think a lot of people come at from the perspective of, hey, man, he's what an apology, or hey, he did his best, and why can't you just let it go? Why can't? There's a lot of water under this bridge, man. There's a lot of stuff that has happened. There's a lot of built-in discrimination and insensitivity and outright racism and all kinds of stuff that has affected black people for since 1619 and on, generation after generation. As you point out, black people are not a monolith any more than white people are a monolith or any other group of people are a monolith. No, everyone's got their own way of thinking about it. I think I'm glad that Malik Jackson said what he said, because it's good to just kind of remind people that it is not everyone's going to just be okay with this thing, and you just turn the page. And Roger Goodell can apologize. It was as good an apology as I could have expected from Roger Goodell, and not only an apology but an admission that they had not done enough for their black players and black people in general, and that they were wrong in that. He didn't mention Colin Kaepernick, so that was a limitation. But I didn't really expect him to, with all the legal stuff that's going on. He made a good apology, but that doesn't obligate everybody to then accept that. It doesn't obligate them to say, okay, well, now the slate is clean. We're good to go. We're back to zero. No, can't do that. You got to do the work. You got to prove. And Drew Brees is going to have to prove to people like Malik Jackson and others who are skeptical of his apology and skeptical of this change of heart, whether it's legitimate.
You said it. You hit the nail on the head. Like, you got to do the work. We've got to start working towards a better society from a racial standpoint, from a sexism standpoint, from a homophobic standpoint as well. We've got to start working towards a better society. So it's one thing for, I'll use Mike Norvell as an example, it's one thing for Mike Norvell to come out with that statement and to apologize for misspeaking. It's something else entirely for Mike Norvell to back his players who come to him and say, hey, listen, these are the things that we think we should be doing as a football program, using our platform to help uplift people in the black community. Like, though that goes a whole lot further than a simple apology. And so it's one thing for Drew Brees to apologize. It's one thing for Roger Goodell and others to apologize. It's something else for them to let their actions speak for them. Actions speak louder than words. Cool, you apologize. That's great. Now what? What's the next step? What are you going to do now? Because this is not going away without everybody adopting a all-hands-on-deck sort of approach and really digging in there to really root out racism and injustices in every system, not just the judicial system, but others as well. So great, you apologize. Let's take some steps to help meaningfully impact this world in a real positive way when it comes to racial relationships in this country.
That's it. And you have to show your work, do your work, show your work, show that it's going to last for longer than an apology or the length of a video or whatever. Show that you're not like that woman who was stopped somebody, repairing something on the street so that she could grab the drill. She said, "Can I borrow your drill?" And then she held it like this, and somebody took the picture of her holding the drill and then put it on Instagram, and then they just drove off. Don't be that person.
Wait, what?
Did you see that?
No.
Oh yeah, there's a dude who's like putting up, he's repairing his walls and stuff, and on the streets. I think it's L.A., but I don't remember exactly where it was. But anyway, so he's doing the work, he's repairing all that stuff, and there's protest, there are people around, and this girl and her, I guess, boyfriend or somebody get out of the car, and he's got the camera, he got the phone camera. She goes up to him and she's like, "Can I borrow your drill?" And so he's like, "Yeah." And so she pretends like she's going to do some work, and then she like looks over and poses for the camera. He takes the picture, then she gives the drill back, gets back in the car, and then she's gone. Like, there's no greater analogy than that's what a lot of apologies are. I'm going to make it look like I'm doing the work. I'm going to make it look like I'm here with you. And then as soon as I get my camera, as soon as I get the image, as soon as it looks like, well, I'm out. Mm-hmm. You can handle all the actual hard stuff. You can do the stuff that needs to be done. Don't be that. Don't be her. Don't be her.
Didn't know we were doing this for real like that.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, there is. You can find it. It's appalling. Like, it is infuriating video. Like, you really are like you get real mad at somebody. It's one of those videos that makes you just viscerally angry seeing that. And she's like, "Thank you so much." Like, what? And the guy's like, "What was that?" Like, it's just, I mean, yeah, that's where we are. Real fast, speaking of the NFL, I think this is an interesting story. It's not as impactful long term as ending systemic racism, obviously, but Dalvin Cook wants some more money. I mean,
they're close.
I mean, that's come on. It's very similar. They're right
neck
there.
and neck.
That's right. I mean, for Dalvin Cook, that's a big story. For me, it's not as much, but for him, that's a very big story. That's a very big deal. He wants more money. Like most running backs, you come to this point. It is. There comes a time in every great running back's life, CJ, when you must hold out to try to get more money. It happens with Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, et cetera, et cetera. It has been Emmitt Smith back in the day, famous. I mean, if you're a running back, and particularly now because quarterbacks, can fall out of bed and wait and make $10, $15 million if they can just make it to practice that day. Then running backs though no respect, no appreciation, because it's a position that's deemed to be replaceable and not as important. And so Dalvin Cook, really good, second highest touchdown total in Viking history last year. He's gonna have to hold out to try to get the kind of money that David Johnson got. He wants $13 million a year.
I mean, second. You brought up the second most touchdowns in Vikings history last year. I do believe second in rushing touchdowns last year, second in yards from scrimmage, if I'm not mistaken, last year, and he's getting $1 million this upcoming season. Meanwhile, I think that backs like Ezekiel Elliott and a Derrick Henry and a couple of others, I feel like he's in that sort of class of running back. They're getting Zeke is around $11 million. I think Derrick is approaching $10 million, if I'm not mistaken. So I understand. He has, fortunately for him though, because he was a second round draft pick, he's only under the fourth. This is his fourth year, so he'll be a free agent next season. And you don't want to risk injury only to make $1 million and mess up your free agency value going into that final year. So it makes sense. I hope the young man gets paid.
I don't know. It's building a team is tough.
Yeah.
Building a team is tough.
Yeah.
He's really good, like a lot of these running backs. But is he indispensable? Could you find another running back to do 80% of what he could do for 10% of that money? Maybe. Is that going to be worth it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he like? Is he going to help you in the passing game the way that some of these other guys might? Is he going to be able to do the versatile things that you need from a running back now on a consistent basis? Is he going to stay fully healthy? So all these questions. It's not. This is a. I mean, I think he's really, really good. I don't mean to disrespect Dalvin Cook because I like watching him play, but I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one.
I think Dalvin Cook, I'd have to look at the stats, but I think Dalvin Cook does a pretty good job catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's
also.
He can do it.
So I think that if it was me, if it were my team, I'd absolutely try and extend him and get him paid. You're looking at a team that right now in Minnesota is without one of their more explosive weapons. I think the most explosive weapon in that offense for the past couple of years has been Adam Thielen. But Stephon Diggs is no longer there either. And you've got a quarterback in Kirk Cousins that needs all of the help, all of the weapons he can get. And Dalvin Cook is a legitimate weapon. He is a legitimate threat in the backfield. So if you can get him locked up and sold up and keep him happy, I don't see why you wouldn't do this to help out Kirk Cousins. Because if it's just Kirk and Thielen and nobody else from a weapon standpoint, I question how effective Kirk Cousins is going to be.
I question how effective Kirk Cousins is going to be, period.
I mean, hey.
As I always do. Man who got one of the first NBA-style fully guaranteed contracts for 20-some-odd million a year. I don't know. If you're going to pay him that much, you might as well pay Dalvin Cook whatever. I mean, clearly you're celebrating slightly above averageness. So Dalvin Cook's better than that, for sure.
Dalvin Cook comes in sixth from a running back standpoint in receiving yards with 519 behind Leonard Fournette, Alvin Kamara, James White, Austin Eckler, and, of course, Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
And just to look at the average of the contracts, The top right now, you're getting about McCaffrey's has the highest of all the running backs with $16 million. So with Cook, I mean, if he can settle between 13 to 16 million, like sort of with Zeke's contract, I'm not sure about how much guaranteed money he wants to get, but
all of it.
from like 13 to 16 million dollars for Dalvin Cook, I think that's reasonable. That will put him in the top 3 in running backs with average.
We'll see. We'll see if he can get his money. I always root for everyone to get their money. Get your money. When we come back, we're going to spin the wheel conversation to get us set up for that discussion. We're going to continue Quiet Storm Tuesday. What could be up next? I'm excited to find out all of that as we continue here from the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk Sports 56 96.1 87.7.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a 3-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Hand in hand, you and I, let's cherish every moment we have been given. But time is passing by. I often pray before I lay down.
Cool in the gang, baby.
By your side, if you receive your calling.
See, if you just think of Cool Braid is Cool in the Gang is just celebrate, but there's more to Cool in the Gang right here.
So much more.
So much more. Listen right here. Oh, yeah. Cherish the life we live. Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm.
Hey, Zach, can we get for hour number 3? Can we get a sounder of like thunder clapping, and then every time I say quiet storm, just go.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, just like so like quiet storm, that kind of thing. Let's search for that. Let's make that happen. I think we can do that for hour number 3 of the program. Hey, speaking of which, hour number 3 is coming soon. We're gonna discuss our topic. We're gonna spin the wheel here shortly to figure out what our topic is going to be for the Wheel of Conversation today. It is today presented by our friends at Central Barbecue. You can find them, of course, online at eatcbq.com. Credit to Craig and the staff over there. They have really, like everyone, they've had to innovate. They've had to improvise. They've had to change some things. They've had to do everything they could to make sure that all of the coronavirus-related restrictions and changes and keeping folks safe, all that stuff is paramount to them, and so they've had to change, but they have, and they've kept the quality as good as it ever has been. It is so awesome. I mentioned those wings earlier with our friend Anthony Sane. I love their wings. Absolutely love them. Smoked wings. They are big. They are moist. They are juicy. They are delicious. I like them traditionally just that wet style, the buffalo style, but you can get them with the dry seasoning, the rub on them. You can get them Jamaican jerk style if you want. You can get them fully just naked with just that nice smoked crispness, and then dip it in whatever sauce you want. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. They got you covered. It is so good. Pulled pork, turkey. The brisket is spectacular. That chicken is wonderful. They have so many great meats that are slow smoked in that Memphis style. You will know it and love it. 4 locations. And online as well. They can do curbside. You can go in, of course. They are open for dine-in. You can go see them and get it however you want to get it. It's worth getting over at Central Barbecue. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Something seemed to tickle your funny bone there, CJ.
Getting text from the listeners. Texas says, yes! Down with Quiet Storm Tuesday. Smokey Robinson, so warm. Johnny Gill, my. Nita Baker! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jarvo. Jarvo gets really into
Jarvo! That's I can absolutely see Jarvo.
Yes.
Just cruising, listening to the Quiet Storm.
I'm gonna get Jarvo's
some Anita
playlist.
Baker on the radio.
I think we're gonna have to get Jarvo's mix for playlist Mondays.
And I would say go back and think about what Jarvo would look like back in 1980. He looks the same. So it doesn't really. There's very little that you don't have to. You don't really have to use your imagination. No. He's aged like 5 years and like 40. I don't know. The man is his regimen his personal care regimen is undefeated. It's extraordinary. So yes, think about young Jarvo cruising down Union Avenue with little Anita Baker playing on the playlist.
Mm-hmm. I can see it.
Good times right there. And now that's where JJ came from. These things happen. When the Quiet Storm playlist hits, babies are made.
Okay.
JJ's got triplets, right? So I mean, that's called the circle of life, is what that is. A different circle is about to be spun here, the wheel of conversation. As you know, we spin this pretty much every day here in the Family Leisure Studios to determine the topic du jour. We cover the ground of so many different things, and we'll talk about this coming up in hour number 3. But we want to go ahead and set the table for you. Could be anything. Well, not anything, but it could be one of these 13 things.
And here
they could have been anything.
Go.
Big, strong spin there from CJ. It's going to stop on a blue square.
Oh.
Blue space. What does it say?
Worst movie ever.
Oh, boy.
Worst movie you've ever seen.
Worst movie you've ever seen.
Text in 67129 on First Bank text line. Be a part of it.
Worst production quality, worst overall, lowest biggest disappointment.
All of that.
Woo.
Got to factor in all of that.
Worst movie ever. Okay. I'm going to think about that on the other side. We're going to get into that topic. We'll get back into the discussion too about the kind of the changes that are happening in the world of college sports. We'll also talk locally about what Penny Hardaway has had to say. Very interesting comments from Penny with regard to what's happening locally as well. We'll talk about that coming up in hour number 3 as we continue here. Sports 56 Mornings, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
The PGA Tour is back, and DraftKings, the official daily fantasy game of the PGA Tour, is putting you in the center of the action. It's easy to play. Just pick 6 golfers, stay under the salary cap, and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off on Thursday. Download the DraftKings app and use code HERD to get a free shot at the $1 million top prize with your first deposit. That's code HERD, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Deposit bonus requires a 25 times playthrough. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
There's a new commissary in town. In Collierville, Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Someone who
Welcome back as we continue. Hour number 3 is here on a quiet storm. Quiet storm. Yeah! Yes! Yeah! Quiet storm. Oh, this is great. I don't know. Soft Rock Tuesday maybe we may have to have a we may have to have a permanent place for Quiet Storm Tuesday. This is so good. Try it, CJ. It's fun.
Oh, does it happen when I say it?
Try it. We'll find out.
Quiet Storm Tuesdays. Yeah.
Feels good, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Try it at home. It's lots of fun. It is indeed a Quiet Storm Tuesday right here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96, 187.7. I'm going to say it like all the time.
I hope you're ready, Zach.
I hope you're ready. I hope Zach's on it. Zach's on it. This is what I like to see right here. Hour number 3, we're going to talk about what Penny Hardaway had to say about the current climate that we are in, the protests about the killing of George Floyd, among many others who have been killed by police brutality in the past, and the uprisings and the changes that are occurring in this country and other countries around the world. We will certainly discuss all of that. Also, as we spun the wheel of conversation prior to the break, CJ, what was the topic?
Worst movie ever. Got a lot of text on this topic too.
It's such a broad spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Because it depends on your was it the lowest expectations for your movie? Was it just like the production value was terrible? Was it there's so many things. Does it have to be in the theaters, or could it be like on TV?
Sharknado 3 is up there if it's a TV movie.
You see, I think Sharknado 3, I think they meant it to be bad. I think that's I think this has to be unintentionally bad. You really tried to make that thing good.
Yes.
And it just is not.
There's a clear favorite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the text line have said this movie, and it makes me want to go watch it because I've never seen it.
Birdemic?
Oh, huh? Excuse me?
Birdemic? You should see that if you haven't seen it. Oh man, it's The Room. Is it The Room? The Room is awful. Oh my God, The Room is.
Who's in The Room?
Tommy Wiseau. It's
okay. Why do I feel like it sounds familiar? I don't know if I've seen it.
What's the movie what's the
Blair Witch Project?
What? 5 people?
5 people immediately. Blair Witch Project. Just bow.
Wait. 5 people said Blair Witch Project?
Blair Witch Project.
Out of the blue?
Total garbage. Blair Witch Project. Skeleton Key. Blair Witch Project. So bad. And 2 more that just say Blair Witch Project.
What?
Yes. They do not like the Blair. I take it from your shock, Peter, that you like the Blair Witch Project.
I mean, that's crazy to me. I can get maybe it's not to your taste exactly. Maybe there's some issues or whatever because you don't like the low budget. Did you ever see Blair Witch?
No.
So, back in the mid 90s, it was the first of this kind of, you know what it is. Right?
I know what it is. I was around for Blair Witch. I never saw it.
So they made it with a cheap budget and all that, and but it's legit scary. It was there was a story. It was defined it defined a whole genre. It changed the genre of horror to some extent.
Mm.
A lot of people that were doing knockoffs, all that. Come on, man. Blair Witch?
Blair Witch, 5
Out of
people.
all the movies everyone could jump off on?
No. Blair Witch. Terrible movie.
Wild.
I saw
that is wild.
The first, I guess, hangout, not necessarily a date. The wife and I went on. Took her to Indie Memphis Film Festival. Let her come with me to see a movie I was really excited to see because there was a lot of hype surrounding it. It was filmed, one of those low-budget movies filmed using some sort of handheld camera in Disney World. So that was a big deal about this movie. They actually got footage inside Disney World, and Disney did nothing to stop them from releasing this movie. It's like, oh, okay, this is going to be a really good movie with an interesting sort of backdrop of a family on vacation in Disney World. And it was god awful. Escape from Tomorrow. My God. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. And I'm surprised that she decided to hang out with me again after that. That's how bad a movie it was. It was awful. God awful. But I will go with one that people may actually know, because I'm not sure.
I have to look into that.
Don't do yourself a favor. Just leave it alone. It got real weird at a certain point. Somebody gets abducted by something. I'm not sure what. I don't even know what the point of the damn movie was. I just remember sitting there like, oh my God, this is my first impression on this chick, and it's going to be so bad. She is not going to come back. She is not going to want to hang out with me anymore. I'll go with a movie that people might know a little bit about, The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, coming off of that twist at the end of Sixth Sense. It's like, okay, this guy might know what's going on. He might know how to do movies. No, he does not. All of his movies have just absurd plot twists right at the very end. The Happening was another one. Just really any M. Night Shyamalan movie after Sixth Sense, I just really don't like. The Village centers around this village in like 1700s, and they're out trying to live life, and there are monsters that come into the village and terrorize the villagers. Come to find out, the monsters aren't what you think they are, and you got to send a little blind girl out to get help, which how can the blind chick help? She's blind. You want her to navigate the woods as a blind person with these monsters out there trying to eat her? Get out of here. Come on, man. This movie is terrible.
Whew. Okay. Zach, you got any that pop into your mind immediately?
I got
I'm
one.
still stunned by this project.
Because I remember going on I remember going on a date with this girl, and we went to the movies.
Is there a worse feeling than going to the movies on a date and picking the worst possible movie?
See, I didn't pick the movie. So,
okay, you good.
Yeah, I didn't pick the movie. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's whatever.
Situation, yeah.
But the movie's called This Is the End. It's like the movie with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Craig Robinson, and basically.
Oh yeah. I remember that movie. You didn't like that?
Yeah, I didn't like that. It didn't make it was like I get I get it it's supposed to be like an interpretation of like the rapture of the apocalypse in the Bible, but it's like I don't know about this. I'm not feeling this. And it just didn't make any sense. Like the jokes were pretty good, but as far as like the plot movie of it just didn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
See, I kind of have to take this from regular sort of movies, regular big budget movies, versus sort of smaller films. Like The Room is one that's very smaller budget, but is absolutely terrible. Just so bad that it's good. There's a movie the undisputed worst movie I've ever seen is a movie called Troll 2, and you should. It is absolutely, without question, the dumbest. And I love terrible movies. So I mean, I'm certainly, this is one of my I like I grew up watching Mystery Science Theater 3000, still enjoy those guys. So I love to make fun of bad movies. It's great. And this one is top of the line. I mean, it is awful. It was directed by an Italian director who the production company got because I don't know if they liked his other movie or there's something about him that they liked, but he didn't really speak English, and the cast really didn't speak Italian, so they really didn't understand the script or each other very much at all. And you could tell when you see the way it was shot and the way that the scenes flow or don't flow together, and it is astonishingly bad. Your brain will melt. It's a bunch of trolls who eat people and turn them into sort of vegetables or something. So Zach, you'll like it, and
That's still meat, fam.
No. They turn them into vegetables and then they eat them, so you're good.
Oh, okay.
It's like It's like
In a vegetable state, or turn them into a vegetable?
No. Actual vegetables.
Wait,
actual
what?
vegetables.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah. Not like vegetables, like plants. And they live in the town of Nilbog, which if you were to spell Nilbog backwards, it spells goblin.
Oh.
This is the kind of cleverness that they're working with here. And somebody sees it like in a mirror, and they're like, "Wait a second, it's goblin." Like it's just
okay.
Absolute. I simultaneously hate it and love it, which is my favorite kind of movie.
Okay.
So it's worth checking out. Troll 2. It is so bad. Like absolute nonsense.
Got some texts to get to before we do. I forgot about. I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. People know that. Coming out of their shells was a bit much for me, and I'm big into Ninja Turtles. For those of you who don't know, Coming Out of Their Shells is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle musical. The turtles up there singing and rapping, and got like, this is from 89, 90 maybe. They got like heavy metal, like hair metal songs, and they got like a ballad and some soft rock songs are being sung by the Ninja Turtles, Splinter, April O'Neil, and the Shredder. Like, it is Shredder's on stage just making fun of random kids in the audience, like talking down to them. It is a god-awful movie. I watched it when I was like 6. It's like, no, this is terrible. Oh my God. Who decided to make this? It is awful. Oh man. Want to hate a movie. Coming out of their shells is that movie for you. It is terrifically bad.
Oh, you know the movie that's in that vein for me?
What?
Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. That's
Batman
a
and
good,
Robin.
awful movie.
They spent, it was Joel Schumacher who took over as the director. And you had Batman, you had Batman Returns, you had Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Batman was starting to get a little wobbly at Batman Forever, but we're just about okay. Batman and Batman Returns, very very solid. And then we kind of, now Joel Schumacher took over. This is when they put the nipples on the bat costumes,
the bat
if you remember
suits.
that.
Yes,
the bat nipples were prominent. That's right out of the gate. You got problems there. The Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Nice to meet you. Freeze, believe me. Oh my God.
The terrible ass pun.
So many. Chill out. So many. So many. Brutal. Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Terrible.
That was one that had Batgirl in it too, correct?
Yeah. Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl.
Chick from Clueless, excuse me. Yeah.
We call her Alicia Silverstone, but you can call her whatever you want. She has a name. Anyway, but that's fine. Chick from Clueless.
I'll go Chick from Clueless.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to call her by her,
okay.
Alicia. Alicia, I believe she was very into saying Alicia. So, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, I think, is about the only decent situation that happened in that movie. But, oh, my Lord. Jim Carrey was just...
overacting, man.
Or no, was that Tommy Lee? Was Tommy Lee Jones in that one?
If it was the movie I'm thinking about, they had...
No, because Jim Carrey was Batman Forever. Batman
as
Forever
the Riddler.
with the Riddler, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And Tommy Lee Jones was so it was Mr. Freeze and that
and
was
Two-Face.
Yeah, I'm getting those two confused, but oh my Lord, Batman and Robin, absolute trash.
Said superhero movies back a while.
Oof.
We didn't get another Batman
Superman,
movie.
see, we forget how bad Superman movies were. Superhero movies were bad.
Yes,
for a long time.
Yes,
they were just synonymous with. Batman '89 kind of changed the game a little bit, but there was a lot of just campy, bad, ridiculous superhero movies.
I personally like Batman Forever.
Of course you would.
No, Batman Forever is fine. I'm saying Batman and Robin.
Oh,
Batman and Robin.
Batman
and
Robin.
The one where they put the nipples on the bat costume.
It's okay.
That's the one that I think of. And Mr. Freeze had that weird disco glowing Daft Punk looking costume where freezing everything up. And no.
All right, here we go. Texas have texted in. They weighed in. Texas says, worst movie ever, The Toxic Avenger.
Ooh.
Did not see that one.
Toxic Avenger not here. I will say Toxic Avenger falls under that category of I think that they're trying to kind of make it bad. There's a whole genre, and there's a dude who runs that company that makes those movies. There's a whole, they're super campy and they're terrible. Don't get me wrong, it's really bad. But I think it's intentionally bad. It's bad. Make no mistake about it. It's very bad.
Another texter says The Love Guru, which, yeah, that's not a very good movie.
Oh,
I got you.
Oh,
Geely.
Mike Myers. Oh man.
Geely says.
Yes.
Says another texter.
Yes.
The Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
yes.
that one did not see that.
Absolutely.
Another Blair Witch is thrown in here.
What is going on with the Blair Witch? I don't get it. I mean, Geely, absolutely. The Love Guru is a great choice for a terrible movie. I mean, what were we thinking? The Cat in the Hat movie with I know that's a scary thing.
I enjoyed the Cat in the Hat movie.
Why do people want to see that? That's not good. Nobody wants to see that. That's terrible. I mean, no, none of this is no.
On the topic of M. Night Shyamalan movies, Texas says I renamed him M. Night Shenanigans. That
exactly
certainly
right.
works. Because that is what he does. Reservoir Dogs and low budget Blair Witch. Garbage. Another Blair Witch one.
What is that with the Blair Witch? I don't get this. Can I also give a shout out to Terror of Tiny Town?
Ooh.
A 1938 movie Western starring only little people.
Oh, okay.
It's not good. It's exploitative. It's just frankly bizarre. I'd say it's right up there.
I'll throw Tales from the Hood 2. Terrible movie. God off. Tales from the Hood is great. That is an outstanding movie with a lot of messages.
I forgot all about Tales from the Hood.
The second one? Oh, Tales from the Hood 2 is awful. Oh, my gosh. Wyatt Earp is the worst movie ever. Howard the Duck, horrible movie.
The Master of Disguise. That's one I forgot about.
Why does that sound familiar?
Dana Carvey as a secret agent. And, yeah. It's really bad. The jokes were awful. The premise was weird. The movie was only an hour long.
Oh, I remember this. That's why I remember it. Okay.
Like, how do you not? You can't pump that thing up to an hour and a half, an hour 20? It was an hour 5. Good Lord.
One that's going that is out right now. If you have Netflix, you can see it 365 days. Oh, we watched that yesterday. My goodness, is it a terrible movie? Oh my gosh. It's this weird situation where this dude ends up kidnapping this random chick and tries to make her fall in love with him. He's constantly choking her for some reason. There's some BDSM going on. Like, it's a really bad movie.
Showgirls.
Was Queen Latifah in Showgirls? No, she was in Chicago. Okay.
No, Chicago is excellent.
Chicago is great.
No,
I was trying to
Showgirls
figure out.
is not Chicago, no.
Showgirls is my
Elizabeth,
man.
Elizabeth Berkley.
From Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, your woman from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. My woman from Saved by the Bell.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Your woman from Saved by the Bell. That's right. Yes, and it was an NC-17. That was back in the mid, and it was absolutely, and it was super long and very
ended her career also.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Striptease also. I get those two confused, but that's Demi Moore.
Okay.
Same thing with Burt Reynolds as the real greasy, oily sort of strip club owner guy, and that one was similarly bad. What about my man Will Smith in Wild Wild West?
No, I will not sit here and deal with any Wild Wild West slander. I love me some Wicked Wild 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 West. I love
West,
that movie.
Desperado, Rough Rider.
No, you don't want nada.
None of this 6 gun in this.
Brother running this Buffalo Soldier. Look, it's what I told you. I love that movie. No, I will not sit up here and allow anybody to besmirch the good name of William J. Smith and Wild Wild West. No.
I'm going to besmirch it a little bit. I'm going to besmirch. It's a little besmirched. Besmirchment is happening here. That was not good.
I loved it. I don't know what wasn't good about it.
No, too much. Too much of that whole. There was that middle. That was this because while it came out, was that 98, 97? When did that come out?
Like 97, I want to say.
That time, that was around the same time with like Batman. There was a little time we were just doing too much. Everything we just got a little. Everyone got a little heavy handed with it. That was when Waterworld came out. You remember Waterworld?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Same kind of deal. Too much. Just too much. That budget was like $3 bajillion. Too much. Heavy hand. A little bit of salt is good. Too much salt, just everything tastes like salt. Everything was getting a little salty. At that point, we were just too much. We're spending way too much money. No.
Texas says Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance was all caps horrible.
Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Oof. Jack and Jill. I forgot about that one. I saw that on a text. Jack and Jill was from Adam Sandler doing both Jack and Jill. Yeah.
Oh.
Adam Sandler's had a run of about 10 straight pretty awful movies from the but there's some movies that like are the flip side of this we'll have to do at some point, but there's some movies that are thought to be not good that are actually really good, or some movies that aren't appreciated, like MacGruber. I'll put that out there.
Oh,
MacGruber.
I'm big into MacGruber. I like
you might think MacGruber. The movie is really good.
Yes.
You might think of it as like, well, I love the sketch, but you might think like, what's the point? It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to can we put that on the board? The flip side. What's the underrated movie? Or
most underrated movie?
Most underappreciated, or a surprising movie, maybe something like that. Like no one got surprised by like Adam Sandler, Jack and Jill. Like oh that's no. You thought it was gonna be terrible. It's terrible. What was the one? One of these Rob Schneider, when he got to like
Deuce Bigelow, American
like
Gigolo
like
in
third
Europe,
or fourth one, like European Gigolo.
Yes, like all of those, man.
And there was another one, like it was after
the hot
Deuce
chick.
Bigelow, the hot chick. Oh,
like
what are we?
How was he allowed to continue to make movies?
I don't know. I don't know.
Deuce Bigelow, male Gigolo. Okay, I get it. Then you gave him a second Deuce Bigelow. Then you gave him like a third, and then you gave him hot chick. Like, come on, no. That is way too much for that dude.
Also, Chairman of the Board, starring Carrot Top.
He has a movie?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do a bad movie day at my house.
Oh, and then of course, how could I possibly forget one of my? I think I put the poster of this out there for everybody, but if you have not checked it out, I believe it's on Netflix as something else now. But it was a movie called The Minis with Dennis Rodman.
Oh,
and it is just it's four little people and Dennis Rodman who form a basketball team, and this movie is just.
I don't like that at all.
It's even worse than you. This is one that somehow the premise sounds like this might be the worst movie you've ever seen, and it just gets worse from there. That actually might be. It might be. It's less than you think it is, and you think it's nothing, and it's somehow less than that.
Oh, okay.
It lives down to your lowest expectations. I mean, when it is Dennis Rodman and little people, and somehow they win a tournament that's sort of got a white man can't jump, and I didn't think they end up winning the tournament. Oh my. I don't know. So, but it's on Netflix, or it's on. I think it's on Amazon Prime as something else. They change the name slightly, but it's there somewhere. Because I saw it, and it was. That actually might be the worst. Now that I think about it, that's it's really, really bad, and offensive, and just it's real bad. So check that out at your local streaming establishment. It's real bad.
We got more texts to get to
Let's do
next.
let's do that on the other side. We'll get to those texts. We'll also get to Penny Hardaway's comments about things that are happening here locally, all the protests and all that stuff. It is a quiet storm Tuesday. Zach was like 90% ready. I like that. Quiet Storm Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7, Quiet Storm.
Check out Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
I've always wanted to learn another language, but every time I try, it never sticks. So I decided to give Babbel a try, and I really like the teaching method of the app. I started with the beginner lesson on Babbel, and it starts with simple words and phrases, and soon you're putting those words into a conversation. Each lesson takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're all really different, which keeps things interesting. The app is really smart. It actually keeps track of the words I'm struggling with, so I can practice them and get better. I chose Babbel because it was created by real language teachers. They built it around real life, how people actually communicate, and what they care about. I can't wait to use my new language skills in the real world. Dos cervezas, por favor.
With Babbel, get conversational in Spanish, French, German, and more. It just takes 10 to 15 minutes a day. Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Gateway Tire and Service Centers has a beautiful new state-of-the-art location at 5275 Summer Avenue. And for the entire month of June, the new location on Summer has a great Father's Day special. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th at no charge. Visit the new Gateway Tire and Service Center with 28 bays for quick service, super safe with curbside service or lounge seating 6 feet apart. Check out gatewaytireservice.com for coupons too. The new Gateway Tire and Service Center, 5275 Summer Avenue. Call Matt for details. 901-683-8335.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Thinking back in time when love was only in my mind, I realized ain't no second chance. You got to hold on to romance. Don't let it slide. There's a special kind of magic in the air when you find another heart that needs to share. Baby, come to me. Let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be.
And I'm also... This is what we do. We bring this to you every... well, not every, but this particular Tuesday. Quiet Storm Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7. I'm still reeling from this whole Blair Witch slander that we've been dealing with. I don't like it one bit.
Well, I need to watch it. before I weigh in with my 2 cents. A lot of text on the text line. A lot of text. Let's see where can we get. Texas says Caddyshack 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Does not hold a tiniest fraction of a candle to Caddyshack 1. No.
Tarzan was pretty bad with Bo Derek.
I was like, Tarzan the Disney movie? I was like, oh, it was great. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but I mean, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Reefer Madness is so bad it's funny.
Reefer Madness is hilarious. Reefer Madness is great. I will contend that is supremely entertaining. It is terrible, but in a very entertaining way.
The Hottie and the Naughty with Paris Hilton. I forgot about that.
The Hottie and the Naughty. Yes. That's terrible. That's
House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh, okay.
And Ernest Saves Halloween. Texas says.
The Ernest movies are like. Did you watch the Ernest movies?
No.
I'm assuming you didn't watch the Ernest movies. I don't want to, make assumptions here, but I'm just
That's a good assumption, man.
I'm just going to assume that you didn't watch the Ernest movies. That's
very good assumption.
Zach, did you watch the Ernest movies?
I've never seen or heard that movie before.
Not surprised that that's the case.
Who was watching the Ernest movies?
I watched the Ernest movies.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
Okay.
Ernest, Ernest Goes to Camp was the classic. Ernest Goes to Jail, but then they got progressively, more awful. Know what I mean? I mean, it's there's certain there are a lot of folks out there that are like, yeah, you forgot about Ernest. Jim Varney was Ernest. Ernest P. Worrell. Man, I can't remember all that. Ernest Goes to Camp was the one.
I think I'm mixing Ernest and Pee Wee up because Pee Wee did a lot of stuff too.
But don't mix Pee Wee.
I think I did see Ernest Goes to Camp. I think I did see Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, did you? I mean, you watched Pee Wee though, right?
No, I didn't. I did not see Pee Wee.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I didn't see Pee Wee, man.
Pee Wee was on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch Pee Wee. Pee Wee wasn't my dude. Pee Wee made me uncomfortable. Pee Wee was sending me real like Predator vibes. I was like, I don't know what's going on with this dude. Let me put it on something else.
He's having imagination, man. He's having fun with his imagination. Lawrence Fishburne got his start on Pee Wee.
He did. He did get his start on Pee Wee. I was never into Pee Wee though.
Slander Pee Wee. Unbelievable.
Ernest Scared Stupid. We're coming in with a lot of Ernest right now.
That's definitely terrible. But the Ernest, the early Ernests were like, they had a thing. I don't know. It was not. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to win an Academy Award or anything, but it was a thing. It was okay.
Any movie with Pauly Shore, like
Biodome.
Biodome
Yep.
immediately comes up.
Son-in-Law is another one, very similar. Biodome is definitely in that mix. Pauly Shore, that was a real thing. We really like Pauly Shore as a culture. Some of us.
Anything with Kevin Costner after Wyatt Earp. He burned me for the last time. The list of bad movies is endless. Bodyguard, A Perfect World, Waterworld.
Bodyguard?
The list goes on and on.
What?
Man. Whoa.
No. Waterworld, sure. The Postman, definitely. There are plenty of bad Costner movies, but come on, you can't.
No, don't disrespect the Bodyguard.
Don't disrespect the Bodyguard. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Stop that.
Texas says, rented a movie from Gasp, Blockbuster, called Vampires. Or Vamplayers. I think it's Vamplayers.
No.
Yes. Vampires in the Hood. Look it up, Zach. Look up Vamplayers. Let's see
No.
what we find. Look it up.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yes, Vampires in the Hood. I took it back and demanded my money back. I'm pretty sure everybody involved, where's the rest of it, in that abomination got indicted and hopefully jailed.
I can't find this. Vamplayers. A Living Dead Love Story. Okay, here it is.
Is it?
No, that's a book.
Vamplayers. Vampayas? Vampayaz.
Okay. I can't find it. I don't find it. I think this. I cannot find this.
We can't find it, Texas.
No, I can't find it either.
I cannot find this.
Movie?
Vampires in the Hood? Would it be under that? Or like Vampires in the Hood?
Vampire movie. Maybe without the Z.
I see mutant vampire zombies from the hood. I don't think that's.
Why do they gotta be from the hood?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Texas. Philip has weighed in. Philip Dean, friend of the show, on the YouTube.
Up? What's up, Philip?
Avatar.
What?
I'm assuming that he's talking Avatar, the last Airbender, not the blue people Avatar. And Philip, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to take it. You're talking about the Avatar,
the last Airbender. Yes.
Who directed? Everybody say it with me now. M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night.
That guy.
M. Night Shyamalan directed that movie. That is where I was. That's when I decided, I'm done with M. Night. I should have been done after The Happening when the plants were killing the people. Spoiler alert. But now I'm done. Or not even killing the people. Releasing pheromones into the air to get people to kill themselves. That's what plants were doing. Like, what? What are you doing, M. Night Shyamalan?
I still want to know about this Vampires in the Hood.
I do too. Texter, help us out, man. We can't find the Vampires movie. Now, is it Vampire or Vamplaya?
Now, can I just say this? I'm gonna put this out there. You can watch this on YouTube if you'd like. It is. I think it is actually good. But I'm biased. It certainly is low budget. Choice is the movie by 3 6 Mafia. Released, I think, 2000, 2001, somewhere in that area. I'm pretty sure you can find the whole thing on YouTube. Buy it somewhere. It's the soundtrack's great. The movie, budgetary limitations being what they are, I think it's worth checking out.
I found Vampires. It is an I. So
Okay.
Vampiyaaz.
Vampiyaaz.
Yes.
Vampires.
Vampires.
Oh. The description is fantastic.
Oh, let's hear it.
A hip hop ex-con. Wait, what does that mean?
What?
A hip hop. This person is a hip hop. What is it? A hip hop ex-con returns to his former neighborhood and must team up with a group of vampire hunter killers to rid the area of vampires who have taken over the area. Boy, that does look terrible. I'm going to tell you. One reviewer says, for blood effects, I noticed a wide variety of food products, including strawberry jam, red Kool-Aid, and ketchup. Gunshot effects look as though they were made by poking holes through the film. Yeah, okay. I can't list everything that was wrong with this film, says the reviewer, because the entire film was just a complete disaster. If you love the art of bad film as much as I do, you'll love this one. Rent it with friends. No nudity though, which is a shame because there were a couple of really cute girls. Sorry about that. But otherwise, there you go. Okay, so that I gotta check that one out.
I've got to.
That looks like one I gotta check out.
I'm going to have to watch Vampires to see this hip hop ex-con save the hood from vampires.
Hold on, like, did you look at the names of the characters?
No.
You got Jakeem.
Of course.
You got Khalil.
Okay.
You got Stacy. You got Nicole. You got Ray. You got Cheryl. You got Vampisha.
Who?
Vampisha. Hold on. Wait. It doesn't end there. You got Vampiros.
Vampisha?
You got Vampisha.
Yeah.
You got Vampiros. You obviously got to have a doorman in the movie. I don't know why. And then you got Yanif. Can't remember how to pronounce his name. Like, how? How?
I mean, I feel like DMX shouted out Vampisha. There was Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, and Vampisha.
Yanif?
Vampisha, y'all? Come on.
Oh, there needs to be like a love Vampisha, a love vampire. Like that. We like throwing that little prefix in front. Love, duh. Ladarius Jamichael. Vampire. We needed some of that in there. Oh, I really hope this is streaming somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sure. Surely it must be, right?
It's got to be.
You would think everything is streaming. I'm finding out more on blackhorrormovies.com. How can you tell? They say, how can you tell if a horror film is urban? Misspelling. If they use Z instead of S. Or Y instead of I, or duh instead of the, your odds are da bomb, yo. That's what it says here. And yes, that is. This does look oh my.
Thank you for that, Texter.
Okay, no,
I appreciate it.
No,
Thank you.
Hey, this is incredible. I can't, like, okay, I got it. No, just, yeah. It got a 0.7 out of 10 on blackhorrormovies.com. The pictures are absolutely insane. I'll have to send you this. Look for that thing, and there's a link on the Google page. It's you should look at the pictures. The pictures are absolutely insane.
Okay.
So we're gonna finish. I didn't realize this discussion would
it took a turn.
Take a turn like this, but I'm excited about it. We're going to talk about that. We'll also get into Penny's comments as we continue here on Quiet Storm Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Quiet Storm.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Gave me the feelings we shared, and I still can remember how you touched me so tender. It told me you cared. We had a once in a lifetime, but I just couldn't see.
Come on.
Until it was gone.
Tell him. Tell him, Peebo. Tell him on this Quiet Storm Tuesday. Nothing? All right. Quiet Storm Tuesday. Quiet Storm.
Just play the storm sound.
He can. He's enraptured by Peebo. It happens. It does happen. You get caught up in Peebo, and next thing you know, it's all there for you.
I cannot find Vampire's trailer anywhere. I really want to look at this trailer.
It's just the video, the picture of the guy eating a hand covered in what appears to be hot sauce.
Yes, I saw that.
That's an extraordinary image that I hope is representative of the film because that is just so bad on so many levels that it's hard to believe. That's exciting. It's exciting when you see something that's that terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. This texter has really opened our eyes to a new level of bad, really, which is exciting in general. Now, I think we does get to a little serious business.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Did you see Penny Hardaway's statement?
I did.
He said in a statement released by the university, not spoken publicly about the most recent deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, killed at the hands of police officers. Along with millions of Americans, I too am outraged and filled with a range of emotions. Determined to bring about lasting change, I chose not to act on my raw emotions, pausing to internally process this critically important moment in time. Enough is enough. I coach and mentor young people who are hurting, angry, and expressing themselves in the only way they know how. They want justice, fairness, and to be treated as human beings. Some are looking to me for answers, and I do not take that lightly. That is why I have been quick to listen and slow to speak. I will be seeking to discuss real solutions and to lend my voice to help plan courses of action that will bring about lasting and transformative change for not only our city and state, but the entire world. Change isn't easy and is often painful, but it's worth it for the greater good of those who want it and, more importantly, those of us who need it. I think well said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is where one of those action speaking louder than words type moments, and I feel like we in Memphis community trust Penny Hardaway to be about that action, to go out there and work and fight to implement real meaningful change as far as it pertains to the over policing of black people and the unnecessary killing of black people by people policing their communities and their neighborhoods. Penny Hardaway seems to be from all of the stories. You have a great story about him giving during Hurricane Katrina. Penny Hardaway seems to be a real charitable, a real socially aware type of person, and somebody who, when he sets his mind towards trying to get things done and uplift people, he has the ability to do that. So I have full faith in Coach Hardaway to get some things accomplished.
Yeah, I think that's he's I like the way that he talked about, being patient, taking time to think about this. It is true that, in the midst of all of this, you can react and you can protest and you can get yourself out there and act all of that in the moment. But when it comes to developing the solutions and the next step, that if you call for that change and you want that change, when the door is opened and the possibility for change exists, and I think there is a window at this point. I think there is that door has been cracked open a little bit. That window has been opened a little bit. It's really incumbent upon all of us to work together and talk and to have real solutions and to real answers and to not only talk about what you don't want to see in the world anymore, but what you do want to see in the world and how ways that we can go about making that happen. And we've already seen examples of that around the country, and we continue to see that. And I think that's a good approach to take. You know, it's easy enough to say what you don't like, and that's important, and it's hugely beneficial to put that word out there. But it's even better to combine that with the things that you do want and to be able to call for those. And hopefully Penny, with his huge name and huge reputation and huge position right now, can be a leader in doing just that. I think he's spoken very well in that regard.
He is very much a leader in this area in the Mid-South. Not because he is not only because of his playing days at the University of Memphis and in the NBA, but again because of his charitable works in the community and his visibility in the community. Penny Hardaway can bop up and down a lot of streets in Memphis and get respect because he is more than just a basketball figure. He is somebody who coached in middle school. He coached in high school in the area, and that matters. And the people of Memphis feel a strong connection with Penny Hardaway, and he does a pretty good job of leading. And so if you're looking for somebody, like you said, to talk about things that you do want, not just things that you don't like, but things that you like or things that you want to see brought to the table, Penny Hardaway can absolutely be that figure and be that voice because he has the ears and the hearts of so many people in this area. Memphis can then be one of the leaders in the nation when we think about and talk about criminal justice reform and police brutality and all of that. Memphis can be a leader in the nation if Memphis gets this thing right. Just like Memphis leads and is a leader in the wrestling community, just like Memphis is a leader,
in the wrestling community
and the music community. Like you come through Memphis,
leader in the barbecue community.
Memphis can be known as a leader in the civil rights movement.
But much like good barbecue, it has to be slow smoked, and you have to take your time with it. You got to know what you're looking for, and you got to do the work. And it takes time. You don't get. You're not just gonna go out to the store and get some find some ribs somewhere and then just slap them on the grill and a few minutes later you got delicious ribs. No, you got to take a long time. It takes time to think about what's the best rib. How are we gonna do this? What's the recipe? What's the formula? How are we gonna work on this? It takes years to get those wonderful ribs that you desire.
Yeah.
In the same way, that's how we're gonna end racism.
Racism and ribs.
We did it.
I mean, hey, what's left for us to say?
That's why it's a quiet Storm Tuesday, right there. That's what happens.
There it is.
Just wondering if you're driving around in that quiet storm, and you want
there it is.
That's right, and you want some protection from the elements. Our friends at Acura Memphis can help you with that. Not only, obviously, luxury for sure, quality absolutely, security 100%, safety. Spend thousands and thousands of man hours making sure those automobiles are great. They do it, and they'll sell it to you any way you want. So you want new, pre-owned, certified pre-owned, all that stuff, they got you covered. You want to go there in person, you can do that. They're ready for you at 385 in Ridgeway. You want to do it over the computer, video conferencing, all that stuff, they got you covered there too. It's all for you, and that luxury is fantastic. When you're driving around in that quiet storm, you want to make sure that you're driving around in safety and that little bit of luxury too, because there's nothing better than that. Check them out online, AcuraMemphis.com, 385 in Ridgeway. They bring you this hour of the program. We're going to talk to the Hatchet Man tomorrow.
He's been getting after it too.
Get the update on what's happening there. Keep those terrible movies coming in. What a fun segment, fun show. Lots of good stuff. Thanks to Anthony Same for hopping on with us this morning, and thanks to all of you guys for listening, and thanks to me for a great quiet playlist too. We'll talk to you in the morning. Bye, everybody.